All right, everybody, we're just getting the live streams going here. They'll get started momentarily. Just bear with us one moment while we get started here. All right, 5:45. Welcome, welcome. Let me know in the chat if you're watching. Let me know if you're here. We're streaming on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. So we should have a bunch of people tuning in here. To get started momentarily, just give everybody a chance to join. Yep, it looks like we're good on Facebook. Looks like we're good on Instagram. Excellent. Let us know in the chat if you're here and if you're watching. Lots of good stuff coming up this evening on our live stream here. All right, got some more people joining. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're here. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Let's see you get some more people in this live stream. My name is Jared. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm with Scamware 101. And our mission is to spread awareness about common scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones from becoming a victim. Lots of scams out there these days, a lot targeting individuals. There's a lot of resources for employees and companies to do employee training, but there's tons of scams that are targeting individuals, and there's a need for more awareness of these scams because unfortunately a lot of times victims learn about these scams too late, by the time they've already lost money, and you don't get a second chance with these scammers. They want to take everything from you. So being aware of these scams is critical. Being able to recognize them before falling for them is key, and that's our mission here, is to spread awareness and empower people to recognize these scams. So we do this live stream every week, and we have a website, scamware101.com, and we're building up a knowledge base of scams, and the idea is we want to make readily available examples of these scams, descriptions of these scams, and to make it easier for people to recognize these scams. So we're building out a knowledge base on our website here, and we have a free email list that you could join as well. We'll send you some scam awareness tips, some reminders about when we're going live, and what's going on over here. And you can join that mailing list by going to scamware101.com and clicking Join Mailing List. Free to join. You can unsubscribe at any time, but it's a good way to keep up to date with what we're doing over here. We'll notify you when we upload new videos, reminders when we're going live, all good stuff. So join that free mailing list on scamware101.com and hit Join Mailing List. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, mostly Facebook. That's where we're most active on. So definitely follow us on Facebook, and maybe some of you are watching us on Facebook as we speak. So good to see you. And what we're going to cover on this live stream this evening is we're going to cover 20 different types of common scams that are targeting individuals. We're going to go over red flags to help you identify and prevent these scams. And we're going to share a ton of examples of these scams. We're going to show you screenshots of email scams, phishing emails. We're going to play some recordings of phone call scams for you, so show you some text message scams, some snail mail scams, because scammers are still using traditional postal mail too. So we had those snail mail scams covered this evening as well. So all active scams, all currently circulating, all an active threat that's in the wild right now. So a lot of people think they're too smart to fall for a scam, but these scammers are clever. They're using AI. They're becoming more and more advanced and harder to detect. So it's important to be able to recognize these and be aware of that. If you have a phone, you're a target. Everybody's a target. And there's a misunderstanding that only older folks are very vulnerable to these scams, but it's not true. A recent report from the FTC confirmed that while older folks are losing more money to scams because they have more to lose, but middle-aged folks are being scammed even more than older folks. They're not necessarily losing as much, but they're falling for the scams even more. So everybody's falling victim to these scammers, and really awareness is key, and that's what we believe over here at Scam Aware 101. Awareness is key, and that's our mission, to spread awareness. So one of the things we do is this weekly live stream. We do this every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week we're going to be doing it a little early on Tuesday, but typically it's on Thursdays. We have the event schedule updated on our website that you can check anytime, as you can see over here under upcoming events. And we also have the live stream schedule on our Facebook page as well. So definitely follow us on Facebook. You can see when our live stream schedule is. And yeah, all good stuff. Welcome to the live stream, Dave. I see you in the chat. Good to see you. Always good to see you. One of my loyal viewers. Always appreciate you. If anybody else is here, say hi in the chat too. We're monitoring the YouTube chat. Even though we're streaming on Instagram and Facebook as well, I'm not really monitoring those chats. So if you want to tell us about your experience or have a question about a scam, hop on over to our YouTube live stream and type in that chat, and I'll be checking those and getting back to you with answers. All right, so with that said, let's start diving in to some of these scams. As we go through these scams, let us know in the chat if you've encountered it. We want to hear your experience. A big part of awareness is being part of the community, right? We're up against an army of scammers. An army. And they're criminals. They're skilled criminals. We're being targeted by them. And community is important. Spreading awareness to your friends, family, and loved ones is extremely important when it comes to scam awareness. So with that said, let's get this started. The first scam we're going to talk about this evening are arrest warrant scams. Arrest warrant scams are extremely common, and what they are is a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued, and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. And the thing about these arrest warrant scams is it shows you how far these scammers are willing to go. They're actually impersonating law enforcement. When they're calling victims, they'll claim to be from the sheriff's office, or they'll claim to be from the local police department. There's really no limit to who these scammers will impersonate. So they'll call their victims up on the phone. They'll claim to be from the sheriff's office. And something key to remember is the phone number on caller ID might actually show the sheriff's office. That's right. Scammers can manipulate what the caller ID shows. Just because your caller ID shows someone's name and phone number, that doesn't mean that's actually them. And scammers know this. They know how to manipulate the phone number shown. And we know for a fact in these arrest warrant scams, they're manipulating what phone number the caller ID shows. They'll show the local sheriff's office. They'll show the local police department. So it can be very convincing to someone that they're actually talking to law enforcement when they get this call. So it's important to be aware of that. There's a lot of press recently about these arrest warrant scams. Lots of warnings and alerts being issued by sheriff's offices and local law enforcement agencies. They don't like being impersonated, right? So they're going to be warning you about this scam. So be alert, be aware of these arrest warrant scams. Sometimes they'll say that you missed jury duty, and that's the reason why an arrest warrant is going to be issued. So be aware of that. If you get a phone call claiming you missed jury duty, especially if they're demanding payment right now over the phone, it's a scam. Be skeptical. In the case if you're actually nervous, you get one of these phone calls and you're actually concerned and you think there really might be an arrest warrant, don't engage with the person who called you. All right. What you do is you say, which organization are you from? They say, I'm from this sheriff's department, whatever. Right, okay, thank you. I'll look into it. And hang up. Right. Then what you could do is contact the sheriff's department directly or the law enforcement agency directly that they're impersonating. All right. Make sure to go find the official phone number. Don't trust any contact information this person on the phone tells you. Right. You got to go confirm the actual contact number and contact them directly. And they'll tell you there's no arrest warrant in most cases because it's a common scam. And this is those steps need to be followed. You're going to hear us give you those tips and those steps pretty much for any type of phone call scam we go over. Because nowadays you can't simply trust an incoming phone call anymore. There's nothing to stop a scammer from knowing things about you and making the phone number look like it's someone else. It's just you can't just trust a unsolicited phone call that comes in. You always got to hang up and then verify. So that's the first scam we talked about this evening. That's arrest warrant scams. We did a video about this scam. It's on our YouTube channel. So if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel yet, definitely subscribe and check out some of the videos later. We'll be releasing more soon. And a lot of scams we're discussing. You can go check out the video we have on them later on and share them with a loved one. If you're just joining us a little late, welcome to the live stream. We just got started about 10 minutes ago. I went over our first scam this evening, which is arrest warrant scams. Let me know you're watching the chat. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, we need followers. We need subscribers. Help us spread awareness about these scams. We're monitoring the chat over here on YouTube. We do this live stream every week. And here on YouTube, you could hop into the chat, ask us a question, interact, share your story about scams. We want to hear from you. We're going to go over about 20 different types of scams this evening. Let's go on to our next scam here. By the way, make sure to join our free email list. Go to scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. Next scam we're going to talk about is bank impersonation scams. So when scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers that were impersonating the bank. And this is another case where we know the caller ID might even display the bank's phone number. Even though it's a scammer, like I said in the previous scam, they know how to manipulate call ID. So just because they're showing a phone number on caller ID or a bank's name on caller ID, that doesn't mean you're actually talking to the bank or that person. So the thing with these bank impersonation scams is they call you up, and in some cases, they may even know your bank already. Scammers know things about us, right? So they'll know which bank to impersonate a lot of times. They'll call you up. They'll claim to be from your bank. They'll claim that there's suspicious activity, and they'll try to get information from you. Or they'll try to trick you into withdrawing your money. A lot of times they'll say, someone has access to your bank account, there's suspicious activity, and they'll say, you need to withdraw that money and transfer it to another account. Right? But that's the scam. They'll actually trick the victim into transferring it to them instead of the bank. These bank impersonation scams, extremely common right now. Extremely popular. A lot of people are being targeted with them. We're being targeted over the phone. We're being targeted by text message. And, of course, we're being targeted by email as well. You get those fake emails that try to trick you into logging in, or they say there's suspicious activity in the call number. A lot of times they're scams, and they're trying to get you to reach out to a scammer. So a little bit of story to share about a bank impersonation scam here and an example. On my screen, you can see an example of a text message scam that's impersonating TD Bank. You see the text message says, verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. All right, but this is a scam. This isn't really a bank. And what's interesting about this example is the person that provided it to me actually received a phone call right before receiving this text message. She didn't answer the phone call, but the caller ID showed TD Bank's phone number. So after receiving a phone call from these scammers that showed TD Bank's phone number on caller ID, she doesn't answer. Right after, she gets a text message impersonating TD Bank, which was her bank, by the way. So scammers, a lot of times they'll know what bank you use. And again, this example on our screen is a text message scam. And it's trying to trick the victim into replying. And at some point, they'll try to get on the phone with the victim and have them transfer money, in most cases. So there's a couple red flags about this text message that kind of tip you off that it's a scam here. First of all, if this had really been from your bank, it would have been from one of those short digit five-digit code phone numbers, right? One of those short code numbers, not a full phone number. So that was red flag number one. A lot of times if it's from an official source, it'll be from a short code. So in banks, it would have been like a 5-digit number instead of a phone number. Another indicator was it didn't specify what account they were referring to. If this had really been from the bank, it really would have said like the last 4 digits of the account, or would have given you some kind of indicator which bank account it was referring to. All right, and then the third red flag was the capitalization in the sentences is off. Right, T in transaction is capitalized for no reason. C in card is capitalized for no reason. R in reply for no reason. N in not. So when you notice things off like that, whether it's capitalization or grammar or spelling, that's always an indicator that it's not legit, right? It's from a scammer. And another reason why awareness is going to be so important now is certain red flags like grammar, spelling, capitalization. We're going to see less and less of that because of AI. Scammers are using AI. They're able to generate very convincing text. No spelling errors, correct grammar, correct capitalization. So these are going to become harder and harder to recognize, which is another reason awareness is so important. So that's a bank impersonation scam. One of the most common scams, really to watch out for right now. And again, we're being targeted by email, we're being targeted by text message, we're being targeted over the phone. In fact, here's a victim's story. And in her case, a young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering trusted Wells Fargo number. All right, so this is what happened to her. She saw Wells Fargo's phone number on her caller ID. She thought it was her bank. She thought she could trust it. And unfortunately, she was tricked into using Zelle to transfer money. Which, by the way, Zelle is also a red flag. If somebody's calling you up, claiming to be from the bank, ask you to transfer money with Zelle, it's suspicious. Don't just go transferring money to somebody calling up like that. Hang up, call your bank directly. Yeah, so this article is just from last year. I think it was November last year. And the scammers are impersonating all different banks. We've seen examples. There's no bank that they're not impersonating at this point. TD Bank, Wells Fargo, USAA. They impersonate any banks. And a lot of times they know your banks. They're just going to impersonate your bank. So watch out for these bank impersonation scams. Same advice as the arrest warrant scams, right? Somebody calls you up. You have to ask them where they're from, then hang up and call back directly. Don't trust the number on a caller ID. Don't trust the number they tell you. Go find the official number and reach out directly. In the case of a bank, you can look at the back of your card and then call the phone number that's on the back of the card. Which, by the way, when these bank impersonation scammers, a lot of times what they'll do is when they call you, on the caller ID, they'll show the bank's phone number. And they'll say, oh, see, we're legit. You compare the phone number on caller ID to your card. But they're able to manipulate caller ID, so you can't trust that either. If somebody calls you, claim to be from the bank, say thank you. I'm going to make a few phone calls. Hang up, and then call your bank directly. Bank impersonation scams. Watch out for them. How we all doing? Say hi in the chat. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Looks like our Facebook's doing good. Looks like our Instagram is, I don't know if it's doing good or not. It looks like it's frozen. I can't tell. But we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Maybe I'll give the Instagram a refresh here and see what happens. If it's your first time joining, let us know in the chat. Say hi. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow. It'll help us spread awareness about these scams. Yep, looks like the Instagram live is still good. Cool. We're still on Facebook. We're going to go over 20 different types of scams tonight. So far we're 3 in. We talked about arrest warrant / jury duty scams. We talked about bank impersonation scams. Next one here is an extremely common one. Important to be aware of. Like all of the scams we're talking about tonight, but it's true. Again, all scams we're sharing, these are all recent, active scams. Next we're going to talk about is tech support scams. We did a video about this one a while ago. It's on our YouTube channel. All the examples that we're going to share on this live stream are in that video too. So you go check out that video later, share it with a loved one. Um, Older folks, this one's important to be aware of. Make sure your older relatives are aware of this one. They seem to fall victim to this one the most. But tech support scams. Basically what happens are these scammers impersonate tech support. And a lot of times what will happen is the victim will receive a fake virus alert on their device. They'll just be browsing the internet, minding their own business, and they'll get a fake pop-up. And it warns them, it says they have a virus. And then it says to call this number for support. Well, it's actually a scam. If they call that number, they'll be connected to a scammer that's impersonating tech support. Once the victim's connected to the scammer requests access to the victim's device, which is terrible. You never want to have a scammer get access to your device, because once they're on your PC, for example, your computer, they can do a lot of bad things. They can steal your passwords, your logins, encrypt your files. They can install something and access it later when you're not on it. So you never want to let a scammer onto your device, your computer, your phone. And these tech support scams, they target computers, they target mobile devices. It doesn't matter if you're on a Windows machine or an Apple device. It's anybody that browses the internet could get one of these fake pop-ups. All right, and the goal is to trick you into calling a phone number. You call that number, it's going to be a scammer, and they're going to try to access your computer. They're going to say, hey, I'm going to help you with this virus. Right? Let me access your computer. But it's a scam. Once they're on there, they do all bad things. And we're going to show you some examples of what these fake pop-ups might look like. All right, we'll start with a few generic versions here. And we'll show you the more realistic ones for after these. But just to give you an example, look, you're browsing the internet, and suddenly out of nowhere you get this pop-up. Warning, 5 viruses detected. Our latest scan detected 5 viruses. It might steal your personal info. Call us immediately. All right, and then it says, has a list of all these scary things that are going to happen if you don't. System crashing, file deletion, theft of personal data, Wi-Fi loss, infections on your other devices. Right? It's all scary stuff. And someone could fall for this. They might just be scared, like so shocked and scared by this warning that they just call a number. And scammers rely on that. They rely on creating fear. They want the victim to react quickly without thinking about it. And that's what happens. A victim gets a pop-up like this. It can be scary. And they call the number, which is what the scammer wants. See this one, warning, check your computer now. What to do, call this number immediately. Data exposure, credit card details, email passwords, Facebook, private photos. Right, all scary stuff. So someone could fall for this. They call that number, though, they're connected to a scammer. Here's another example. All big red letters, warning, your computer might be infected. To remove viruses, call tech support online now. But this is actually, you can see in this example, it's got an address bar at the top here, right? So you can tell, okay, this is just a website pop-up. This is a web page. But it's designed by a scammer to look like it's a pop-up. So those were a few generic versions you might get. Someone's got computer savvy, and they'd recognize those easily enough. But let me show you some more convincing ones. So here's a fake virus alert that impersonates McAfee antivirus. This one looks a little more convincing. It's got the logo, the colors. Now, one of the big giveaways that it's a fake virus alert is that it has a phone number to call. Real virus alerts won't have a phone number to call. So if you get a pop-up says you're infected and call a number, it's a scam. Don't trust it. Let me know in the chat if you've gotten any pop-ups like these. I'll show you another one. This one impersonates Norton by Symantec. Threats detected. Call support. It's got the number to call. But if you call, it's going to be a scammer. Scary stuff, though. System hard drive may fail. Do not close the page until issue is resolved. There's a couple spelling errors on this warning. Right, it's got 2 L's at the end of until. So that's a little bit of a giveaway there. But again, we're going to see that less and less. So it's important to be aware of these pop-ups. And this could be convincing to someone that actually has McAfee or actually has Norton. Right? They see a pop-up like this, they might be like, oh, I have McAfee. It must be warning me. Or I have Norton. It must be warning me. So these could be convincing, but it's a scam. I'll show you a couple more examples here. This one impersonates Windows Defender. It's got the Microsoft logo, same colors. Access to this PC has been blocked for security reasons. Contact Windows support. If you call that number, it's going to be a scammer. Here's another one that also impersonates Windows Defender. It's got the Microsoft logo. Contact Windows support. If you call that number, it's going to be a scammer. They'll impersonate Microsoft, and they'll pretend that they're going to help you, but it's a scam. Now, we mentioned earlier about these tech support scams. I mentioned that it doesn't matter if you're on a Windows machine or an Apple device, a computer, desktop computer, or your iPhone. Everybody's susceptible to these types of fake virus alert pop-ups and tech support scams. So here's some examples that actually target Mac and Apple users. All right, virus found. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. Big scary red letters, got the Safari logo there. So this is actually targeting Mac users. And has the list of scary things that are going to happen if you don't call. Data at risk. Your credit card details, your email password, your Facebook, your private photos. Your webcam could be accessed. But this is all just designed to scare the victim into calling this fake tech support number. Don't call that number, it'll be a scammer. Here's another one that targets Apple users. This one impersonates AppleCare. Warning, macOS is infected with viruses. Please call Apple support. That's not Apple support's number, though. It's actually going to dial a call center of scammers that are going to try to take all your money. I'll show you one more example of another targeting Mac users. macOS is infected with spyware and other malicious applications. Call Apple helpline. All right, so if you get any of these warnings, again, the big red flag is it has a phone number to call. If it has a phone number to call, you know it's a fake virus alert. And look, if you're concerned it's real, call your computer person, right? Call the local computer repair shop that works on your computer, or call the family member that's good with computers, or call the person at your work that does tech support. But don't call a random number that pops up. It's a scam. Again, this one's important to make sure that your loved ones are aware of this one, especially the older folks out there. Because you get these big scary pop-ups, you get rattled, they don't think, and they just call the number. And that's exactly what the scammers want you to do. Let me know in the chat if you've ever gotten any of these pop-ups, fake virus alerts. Also, these scammers have been known to, it's less common, but they'll call you directly sometimes. They'll claim to be from Microsoft, and they'll say that a virus was detected. But that's less common. But still, it's important to be aware of and watch out for as far as tech support scams go. But the big one, again, are these fake virus alerts that pop up. Again, we did a video about that scam. It's on our YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. Check out that video later. Share it with loved ones. It has all the examples that we just shared in those slides, too. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our goal is to spread awareness about common scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones from becoming a victim. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness. You can join our free mailing list. It's on scamaware101.com, and just click Join Mailing List. We'll send you reminders when we're going live. We'll send you some scam awareness tips, all good stuff. You can unsubscribe at any time. We're live streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube right now. The only chat I'm monitoring right now is YouTube one, though. So if you have some questions or want to chat, hop on over to one of the YouTube streams and type in that chat, and I'll get back to you. But in the meantime, hit that thumbs up, give us a like, help us spread awareness about these scams, maybe get some more live people on these live streams. The more likes we get. If you don't follow. You'll see some useful scam awareness tips that we post. And we're most active on Facebook, so definitely follow us on Facebook. And also, if you do feel so inclined, you could donate financially as well. You go to scamaware101.com/donate. You can make a donation there. Or we have the super thanks enabled as well over here on the YouTube videos. So you can hit that super thanks button to donate as well. So definitely do that if you want to help support the mission here. On our YouTube channel, we also have mugs and mouse pads and also some cool little items for sale too. If you want to help support the mission that way, hop on over there. I know Dave scooped up a mug a couple weeks ago. Appreciate that, Dave. So that's over on our YouTube store. So definitely check out our YouTube channel if you're not there yet. Hit subscribe and see what we got going on over there. Next scam we're going to talk about, road toll scams. This one has been going on like crazy for like a year. It's been nonstop. Every week somebody's sending me a new version of this scam. People are getting so many text messages that impersonate Easy Pass, SunPass, Fast Track, the DMV. Right? And these text messages claim that a toll is due. Victims are usually contacted by text message or email. There's been email versions as well, but text message seems to be most common right now. And these fake text messages will contain a link to a website that steals your personal and financial information. We have a ton of examples of this scam to show you here. But just to give you an idea of some of the organizations that it impersonates, it's impersonated SunPass, Peach Pass, Good to Go, Easy Pass, North Texas Tollway, Drive Easy Maryland, Fast Track, like I said, the DMV, Easy Drive Massachusetts has been impersonating. So there's really no transportation or toll department that these scammers haven't or won't impersonate. So if you get any kind of scam, any kind of text message claiming you have a toll due, don't trust it. Be aware that this is an extremely common scam right now. Here's an example of what these might look like. Oh, here's one. Sometimes they come from phone numbers outside of the U.S. Sometimes they come from phone numbers inside the U.S. But here's an example of what one might look like. Pay your Fast Track lane tolls by January 24th to avoid a fine and keep your license. You could pay it at, and it has a link to a fake website. It's going to steal the information you enter. Now, something to take note of here. At the bottom of this text message, you could see it has an instruction to please reply yes and exit and reopen the text message. Right? If you see that in a text message, it's a red flag. A lot of scammers will include that in their text messages. They want you to reply, and they want you to reopen the text message. So we'll see a lot of examples this evening on a live stream of that instruction. But again, this is an example of a unpaid road toll scam. You get a text message claiming that you owe a road toll. This picks up during the holidays too. So it's probably pretty active now since we just got done with that long holiday weekend last weekend. So if you're getting any of these text messages, because of holiday travel, the scammers know people are traveling for the holidays. So they're more likely to fall for these unpaid toll scams. Here's this one. Final warning, unpaid toll failure. To pay $3.99 toll may result in further penalties. Deadline March 12th. And look, there's lots of warnings going out about this scam. Please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd in order to avoid excessive late fees and potential legal action on statements. Please pay the tolls in time. Thank you for your cooperation. Wish you a pleasant holiday. Right? And even put the word SunPass in the fake website name, fake website address, to make it sound more legit. But it's a scam. It's not really SunPass. Here's a version that impersonates Easy Drive Massachusetts. Easy Drive MA reminder. Your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. It's got a link to the fake website. There's that instruction again at the bottom to please reply with yes and exit the text message, reopen. Here's an example where a text message comes in and it just has an attachment. By the way, never open attachments from unknown sources. But if you had opened this attachment, it would have opened a PDF file. It claims you have a toll violation. And eventually it has the Pay Now link, which takes to a fake website. This one says it's the Toll Enforcement Agency, or Toll Enforcement Authority. Now let's say you did click on one of these links. It might take you to a fake website that looks like this. This one impersonates Washington State's Good to Go toll service. Now if you click payment, it can take you to a page that then steals your credit card details. So watch out for these road toll scams. Extremely common right now. Look, if you're afraid that the text message is legit, what you do is you go look up the organization's website or their app directly and then check that way. But don't click any links. Don't call any phone numbers that that are in these text messages. Definitely don't open any attachments. Never open attachments from unsolicited emails or text messages. And watch out for these road toll scams. Extremely common. And probably a lot of them happening this week because of the holiday weekend too. You know, scammers know that holiday travel picks up, so they pick up their scam, these road toll scams. Hey, if you're watching, let us know in the YouTube chat. Share your experiences. You know, let us know what scams you're being targeted with, scams that your loved ones might have fallen for. We're live streaming on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So tune in there, hit that like button, subscribe, hit follow. You know, help us spread awareness about these scams. Trying to put something good out there, and you can help us spread awareness simply by clicking like and subscribe and follow. Next scam we're going to talk about are wrong number scams. So these wrong number scams, it's kind of like part one of a scam. It's a way for scammers to reach new victims, and then it evolves eventually into some other type of scam. But how it works is scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. So the thing that's important about these wrong number scams, if you've ever wondered why you get so many wrong number text messages, this is why. It's a scam. Sometimes they're just trying to find new phone numbers that people replied to, you know, active phone numbers that they could target with scams. Other times, they're going to try to build up a trust with the person on the other end. They're going to apologize. Sorry, I had the wrong number, but you seem nice. Let's talk, right? And how that conversation might go. We have some examples here for you. And by the way, never reply to these wrong number messages. You know, even if you're not sure if it's a scam or not, it's not worth replying. It's just not. Scammers, they count on your kindness. You want to let somebody know, hey, you got a wrong number, right? But you can't do that anymore because scammers take advantage of that. So don't even reply. But here's how a wrong number scam might work. You get a message, I'm Margaret, are you Lillian? Person replies back, I'm Izzy. All right, I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number. I hope I didn't disturb your day. Person replies back, that's okay. At this point, the conversation should be over, right? It's already been established. That's a wrong number. There's no reason for the conversation to continue on. But because it's a scam, the scammer's going to try to keep the conversation going. Thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age? Right? So they're going to try to get information about the person. In this case, they're asking their age. Then they're going to ask name. Then they're going to ask location. And after that, they'll eventually determine what scam to target them with. Here's another example. Random message. Have a cup of coffee together sometime. Person replies back, who is this? Oh, this isn't my friend Lauren. Right? They give some story about having the wrong number. All right, person replies back, yeah, wrong number. At that point, it should have been established. Wrong number, no reason to keep on talking. But because it's a scam, the scammer keeps on texting. I'm sorry, I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number. Hope I'm not bothering you. Thank you for your kindness to my situation. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? Right, so in this example, they're trying to find out where you're from. And they'll still ask your name and age too next. They're going to try to build up a trust with the person on the other end. They'll try to get you to use a third-party app like WhatsApp, right, to chat even more. They're going to try to get you off of the text message and into a third-party chat app eventually. We'll talk about that more later. It's always a red flag when someone does that. But again, these are just examples of wrong number scams. They're just sending out these messages to random numbers, and the whole idea is they want people to reply and say, wrong number, or who is this? It's a way for them to harvest new active phone numbers to target and new victims. These wrong number scams can start in any way. They can start with, excuse me, is this Emma? It can start with, hey, Anna, I'm Josie. It can even just start with a single one-word message, hi. All right, as long as the person replies back, who is this? It worked. That's what the scammer wanted. So don't fall for it. A few more examples here. By the way, we did a video about these wrong number scams on our YouTube channel. It's actually our most popular video. It got almost 100,000 views. We're over 99,000, creeping up on 100,000 views. So that's awesome. So definitely check out that video. It's one of our most popular videos because it's a popular scam. Oh, hold on a second. I just got to turn the fan on. It's getting a little hot in here. All right. More wrong number scams. So in this example, it just started off with a single message that said hi. Right? Reply back, hi, who's this? Scammer replies back, I'm Karina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party, and you picked this number for me. Sorry, you had the wrong number. Right? At that point, the conversation really should stop, but the scammer keeps going. Oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you. You try to be polite, reply back, that's okay, no problem. Right? Again, conversation should be over at this point. Scammer keeps going. Thank you very much. You're a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? Right? We reply back, Pat, just kind of mess with the person. Could be a guy or girl. And then they go on to say, you have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? Right. So these are all examples of wrong number scams. Eventually, this conversation is going to lead into some kind of crypto scam or romance scam. But these wrong number scams are a way for scammers to find new victims. I have one more example for you here. Right, in this example, the scammer included a picture. They sent out the random text message. Hi, Byron, I'm Jane. They include a picture of this woman. And then 4 hours later on the dot, right? So the initial message comes in at 1:58 p.m., right? But then 4 hours later on the dot, after no reply, at 5:58 p.m., got a second text. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? So we shared this example in our wrong number scam video, and lots of people commented confirming they received this exact same message, this exact same image from the scammer. All right, so it was confirmed that this is being bulk sent out to people, and it's a numbers game to the scammer. They just know some people are going to end up replying, all right, and that's why they do this. That's why I send out so many of these text messages. So all examples of wrong number scams are what they're known as. So if you get these wrong number scams, report them as junk, block them, don't reply. Do not engage with the scammers. See John joined the chat. Good to see you, John. I have no idea how many people are watching. I'm not really monitoring it, but say hi in the chat. Let me know you're here. I am monitoring the chat, or YouTube chat. We're also streaming on Facebook and Instagram, so make sure to like and subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And that's the first batch of scams so far this evening. If you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. My name is Jared with ScamAware 101. Our goal is to spread awareness about common scams, and one of the things we do is this live stream every week. So you can follow us on YouTube. We're streaming now on Facebook and Instagram too, so you can find us on there. And we go over about 20 different types of scams during this live stream. We share a whole bunch of examples, emails, text messages, play some phone calls, even show you some snail mail scams that come in the mail. They also need to watch out for. So make sure to subscribe. I'm monitoring the YouTube chat, so say hi in the YouTube chat. I'll do my best to answer back to you. I'm not really watching the Facebook or Instagram ones, so if you have a question or want to chat, hop on over to YouTube stream. I see Leslie. I have Leslie just entered. I'm going to say Rivera. Sorry, I had a little trouble with the first name there, but Rivera, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream, the chat. Ah, sister, Dave, is this the one that told me about? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. We just got through our first batch of scams here, but the next portion of this live stream, we talk about red flags to help you identify these scams. It's super important to be able to recognize these red flags. We have a free mailing list. You can join our free mailing list by going to scamware101.com and hitting join mailing list. Make sure to confirm the email. We send out a confirmation link, but it's free to join. We'll send you some reminders when we're going live, some scam awareness tips. We won't abuse the privilege, and you can unsubscribe at any time. Head over to scamware101.com and join mailing list. You could also follow us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, YouTube. We have a YouTube store, mugs, mouse pads, some cool items over there, so check that out. Got my ScamAware 101 coffee mug here. Keep my coffee warm for the live stream. Get one of those on our YouTube channel. Dave, thank you for inviting your sister. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you. All right. Let's talk about some red flags. We have a lot more examples coming up too later in the live stream, but we're going to go over some common red flags right now. We did a video about these red flags too. We have them on our YouTube channel. So any of the slides that I used tonight, and as we discuss these 5 red flags, we have those in the video too. So later on, you could go and share them with a loved one that I think would find it useful. But let's talk about some common red flags to help you realize and recognize when you're talking to a scammer. And we'll start with red flag number 1. I mentioned this a little earlier when we were talking about the wrong number scams, but they'll direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Scammers love directing victims to third-party chat apps. Initially, they'll contact the victim through text message or phone call or email, a more traditional method. But once they initiate communication and establish contact, a lot of times they'll try to get the victim over to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue conversation. It's easier for these scammers to communicate with victims in other countries, and it also offers more anonymity to this scammer to hide behind. So if you're talking to someone on the internet and they want you to reach out to them on Telegram or WhatsApp, that's a big red flag. Some scams where that's part of the playbook are romance scams. Right? Create a fake dating profile to lure in new victims. Right? That's what these scammers do. They create fake dating profiles to lure in new victims. Then once they talk to them on the dating website, they'll direct them over to WhatsApp to continue talking. Wrong number scams. Starts with a random text message, probing for new victims. We just talked about that scam. But once they establish communication, they'll direct the victim to continue talking on WhatsApp. So that's the red flag. They're trying to get you to continue talking on WhatsApp, third-party chat app. And there's the investment scams. They'll direct the victim to a Telegram or WhatsApp group to pump up an investment. Sometimes there'll be bots in that group, or there'll be other scammers, and they're just there to kind of make there appear to be more interest in this investment. All right, so that's red flag number 1. They're trying to direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Red flag number 2. This one's a huge one. If you take away any one of these red flags from this presentation this evening, it's red flag number 2 here. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? Scammers love to receive those unusual forms of payment. It's easier for them to move and transfer the funds. It's also harder for victims to recover the money after it's sent in this way. Right? So it's gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. If you hear the word Bitcoin ATM mentioned, if they're instructing you to go deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM, it's a scam. If they're telling you to go purchase Target gift cards, Apple gift cards, for example, it's a scam. It's a huge red flag. If you hear any mention of gift cards, it should cause a big red stop sign to flash in your head, because scammers prefer to be paid in these ways. Some scams where it's part of the playbook, where scammers, they try to get the gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency from victims, are IRS and Social Security scams. Scammers impersonate government agencies, and they'll ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. Huge red flag. Government agencies do not accept cryptocurrency or gift cards as payment. So if someone's calling you up claiming to be from the IRS or Social Security and trying to get you to purchase gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's a scam. Big red flag, any mention of gift cards. Romance scams, right? Scammers often request gift cards and cryptocurrency from an emotionally attached victim. The victim will think they're just sending a gift card to someone they're in a relationship with, or they'll think that they're depositing cryptocurrency into an account that they could use together, right? But that's all part of the scam. And the reason why they're instructed to send gift cards and cryptocurrency is because it's harder to recover those funds. Bank impersonation scams. Victims withdraw cash from the bank and purchase gift cards as instructed by scammers. We'll be talking about this narrative a lot during this live stream, is when these scammers, they convince you that someone has access to your bank account. They convince you your money's not safe. There's suspicious activities. Somebody has access to your account. Your money's not safe. You need to withdraw that money. And then they instruct you to purchase gift cards or deposit the money at a Bitcoin ATM. All right, that's a red flag. Extremely common. So be aware of red flag number 2. There's so many victim stories where if they had realized not to purchase gift cards or realized that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin are requested by scammers, it could have prevented the whole thing. So be aware of red flag number 2. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, depositing money at a Bitcoin ATM. Let's talk about red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone by text message. So this is a scam that's pretty common on marketplace type websites. So on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, what these scammers do is they'll impersonate a buyer or a seller, and they'll say that they want to confirm your phone number or confirm your identity, and they're going to send a code to your phone, right? But that's a scam. They're actually trying to do something else and linking it to your phone. If you provide that code back to them, you're going to let them do what they're trying to do. And some examples are they might be trying to open an account using your phone number. They might be trying to log into one of your accounts that's linked to your phone number. They might be trying to reset a password on one of your accounts. And when you receive that text message, it's a security measure. It's only meant for you. It's not meant to be given to somebody that's requesting it. Right? So some of the things that they could be doing, let's dive into those a little bit more. Right? Somebody tells you to provide a code back to them. Here's why you don't. They could be trying to log into one of your accounts, and as a security measure, it's sending a code to your phone to warn you. If you give this code to that person, they're able to get into your account. They might be trying to reset one of your passwords. You're getting that message as a security measure. If you give that code to the person, you're allowing them to reset your password, and then they have access to your account. Then there's the Google Voice scams. What these scammers do is they want to get a free phone number from Google to use for scams, but they have to sign up with a phone number to get that free phone number, right? So what they do is they sign up with their victims' phone numbers. And in this case, they'll sign up with your phone number. You'll get a code to confirm it. If you give that code to the scammer, you're allowing your phone number to be attached to their Google Voice account, their fraudulent Google Voice account. So never trust someone that's trying to send a code to your phone and asking you to give it back. It's a common scam, and you need to be aware of that one. Let me know in the chat if you've ever encountered any of these red flags, or know somebody that's encountered these red flags or was tricked into doing some of these things. I'm watching the YouTube chat right now, so I'll answer if you type into the YouTube chat. Let's talk about red flag number 4. We mentioned this one when we were talking about the tech support scams earlier. Red flag number 4, they ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Scammers love to get access to victims' PCs and devices. They can steal logins and passwords once they're on a victim's PC. They can encrypt personal files and documents and pictures. They can hold them for ransom from victims. They can access online bank accounts, banking websites once they're on a victim's PC, or they can steal financial information that they have stored on their PC. Scammers love accessing victims' devices, and unfortunately, it's becoming more common as part of the playbook for a lot of scams. And some examples where it's part of playbook are the tech support scams, the fake virus alerts we talked about earlier. You know, victims get a fake virus pop up, they're tricked into calling a tech support number that's fake. And once they're on the phone with a scammer, the scammer tries to access their PC to assist with removing the virus, the fake virus they actually don't have. All right. So the red flag is they're trying to ask to connect to your PC. Fake order scams. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. But that's when a scammer impersonates customer support, assisting with an order to gain access to the victim's PC. Right? They'll send out a text message saying that order was placed. Call if you want to dispute it. You call a number. They ask for access to your PC to assist. But it's all a scam. There was no order. They're just trying to get access to your devices. And there's a fake fraudulent activity. This is what I mentioned earlier, that narrative where you're contacted by somebody impersonating a bank or agency. And they're claiming that they're investigating fraud. There's suspicious activity. And what they'll do is they'll offer to connect your device to check your accounts for you. So the victim thinks they're talking to law enforcement or the bank. They're letting the scammer on the device. And then the scammer tricks the victim into logging into all their bank accounts. Hey, log into each bank account and I'll let you know if there's any suspicious activity. The victim doesn't realize they're giving access to the scammer. They're giving to all their bank accounts. All right, so that's red flag number 4. Someone asks to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Right? Never let a stranger onto your PC. Just because a phone number pops up on your screen and says they could help, don't trust it. When it comes to your devices, working on your computer, right? Everybody should have their go-to person, whether it's the family member that's good with computers or the local computer shop down the street or the tech support guy that you work with. Right? Everybody should have that person to assist them. They shouldn't let strangers onto their PC. So it's a red flag if somebody's trying to access your computer. Chappie in the chat mentions, yep, they Google for tech support phone numbers, scammers by ad space, and you get a scam. Yep, that's true as well. Very true. And we're going to talk about that a little bit too. We're going to talk about some fake retail websites in a little bit, and I'll mention those. The scammers buying ad space. Because that's very true. Scammers can purchase ads. They'll direct people to fake websites, fake sites with fake contact information. But anyway, yeah, that's red flag number 4. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. And the last red flag here in our examples that we're going to talk about, which, by the way, we have another video coming out soon with 5 more red flags, because there's still a lot more, but these seem to be 5 pretty common ones. Red flag number 5, they request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. That's a big one, and we're going to show you some more examples tonight where that actually happens. But it's common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people, because the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. All right. So these scammers they'll have all these stories and all these reasons to try and convince the victim to stay quiet and not tell anybody. Right. Some examples where that's part of the playbook are grandparent scams. And we're going to talk about those in a little bit. That's when the scammer impersonates a relative saying they need help. Right. They've been arrested, but it tells them they'll say your relative's embarrassed about their arrest and ask you not to share it with anybody. Right. That's a red flag. They're actually just trying to keep the person quiet because it's a common scam. And if they tell somebody, they might be tipped off. Investment scams. They'll say it's an inside tip and not to tell anybody, or a price is just for you and don't tell anybody. But they're just trying to keep the whole scam a secret until they get your money. Inheritance scams. They'll mail letters impersonating law offices regarding a fake inheritance. The letter often requests confidentiality. Because a common scam, inheritance scams. We're going to show you an example of one of those letters later on in the live stream too. And there's a fake fraudulent activity. Right? And that's the one we've been talking about where they impersonate a bank or agency investigating fraud. And what they'll do is they'll say, since it's an active investigation, don't tell anybody about it. Don't tell the bank teller about it. Don't tell your friends or family about it. We don't know who's involved. You can't tell anybody about the investigation. You could blow the whole investigation if you do. But that's all part of the scam. They just want to keep you quiet. And that one's a good one that they use because it scares a person. Like, I don't want to get in trouble for putting the investigation at risk, right? And it scares them to keep them quiet. And that's what scammers do, though. So those are 5 red flags. I'm just going to run through them real quick, summarize them for if you just joined us a little late. 5 red flags you're dealing with a scammer. And again, we did a video about this, so you could definitely check out the video, share the video later. It's on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. But the 5 red flags we just went over, right? They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Always a red flag when they're trying to get you on the third-party chat app. if anybody's trying to convince you to download apps, be suspicious. Even with crypto scams, these or trading scams, the scammers will ask you to download a fake trading app, right? But for the sake of this red flag, if they're telling you to continue a conversation on Telegram or WhatsApp, it's a red flag. Be suspicious. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. They love all those unusual forms of payment. It's easier for them to transfer money, and it's harder for victims to get it back. When someone wants you to pay in gift cards, cryptocurrency, or to deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM, don't trust it. It's a scam. Be suspicious. Big red flag is red flag number 2. Red flag number 3, they ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Very common scam. They'll say that they're trying to confirm your phone number. A lot of times they're impersonating a buyer or seller. Still see it on Facebook Marketplace, this scam. But never trust it. Somebody's saying they're going to send a code to your phone and they give it back. Don't trust it. Chances are they're trying to do something else. And if you give them that code, you're going to let them create an account or get into one of your accounts, and it's no good. So if someone's trying to send a code to your phone and wants it back, it's a red flag. Don't trust it. Red flag number 4 was they asked to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. See that a lot recently with these scams, specifically tech support scams. Don't let people you don't trust or know onto your computer. Don't trust phone numbers that just pop up asking you, telling you to call for assistance. And make sure you're calling the right phone number if you are calling a legit company. But it's a big red flag if somebody you don't know is trying to access your PC, and even if they're offering to help you with something, be suspicious. Don't just let anybody onto your device. And then red flag number 5 was they asked to keep the matter confidential or secret. We see that a lot with scams. A lot of times they'll have convincing stories and reasons to try and convince you to stay quiet, but that's part of the scam because they know if you stay quiet, it's less likely someone will tell you it's a scam. So there are 5 red flags to watch out for. They indicate you're talking to this scammer. If you come across them, stop, reanalyze the situation, and go talk to somebody. Those are 5 common red flags. I have a lot more good stuff coming up here. Thanks for the thumbs up, Chappie. Appreciate it. And welcome to the live stream. It's your first time joining. Always good to see a new face, newcomer. We try to do this every week. Usually on Thursdays. Our next one's going to be Tuesday, a little earlier next week. But for the most part, we do it on Thursdays. You can see our event schedule here on our website. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. And make sure those streams are still going here. I'm not really monitoring the chat over on those, but it looks like we're still good on Facebook. We're still good on Instagram. So if you're watching over there, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, give us a like. Even though I'm not really monitoring it now, it'll still help spread awareness of the live stream. I am monitoring the YouTube channel chat though, or the YouTube stream. So if you have a question or want to talk, hop on over to the YouTube live stream and let us know in there. I'll answer any questions. I want to hear your experiences too. Let us know what scams you've been running into and encountering. We got a lot more scams coming up here this evening. We usually go for 3, sometimes 4 hours. Run a little early today, so we might finish a little early. But I'll start from the top. If I get to the end and there's new people in the chat, I'll keep going. I got my Scamaware 101 coffee mug, all caffeinated. And we do take 2 5-minute breaks during this live stream just to refill and recaffeinate. I want to stay on the best of my game and alert for all you folks. And that's actually what we're going to do in about 2 minutes. Just going to take a quick 5-minute break, refill the coffee cup, and then we're going to dive into some more common scams. But in the meantime, hit that thumbs up. Give us a like if you haven't yet. Subscribe. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can join our free mailing list. Let's go to scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free to join. And we'll send you some scam awareness tips, some reminders when we're going live. We won't abuse the privilege. We won't send you spam email. You can unsubscribe at any time. But definitely check it out. It's the best way to keep up to date. We'll let you know when we add new videos to our YouTube channel. So it's all good, useful scam awareness tips. Scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. And if anybody feels so inclined, you could donate to the cause, help support our mission financially. Don't feel obligated, but we appreciate anything. It helps. You could go to the scamaware101.com/donate. We have the QR code on the screen. If you want to scan it, it'll take you right there. Or just go to scamaware101.com/donate. And we also have Super Thanks enabled here on YouTube. So if you want to use the Super Thanks feature here, you can hit that and send us a couple bucks on YouTube. We appreciate it. Again, don't feel obligated, but the option is there, and it will help support our mission and keep us going. On that note, we're going to take our quick 5 minutes here, refill that coffee cup, and then we're going to keep going. We have a lot more scams coming. Got like 15 more different types of scams coming up here. Tons of examples, email examples, text message examples, phone calls to play you. The next batch of scams we're going to go over here is really my favorite batch to go over. It's got some good videos for you, some good phone recordings. And we're going to get started with that in about 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes to go refill my coffee cup here. And then we're going to keep going. So hit that like button, subscribe, follow if you haven't yet. Share the video with a friend. We've got lots of good stuff coming up on this live stream that we're going to continue with 5 minutes. See you in a minute. Thank you. All right. About ready to get started with the second portion of our live stream this evening. All right, everybody, welcome back to Scamware 101 live stream here. Going into the second hour of our live stream. Lots of good scam examples to share with you and make you aware of. All the examples that we cover tonight are all active, all current, all recent, and important to be aware of. And we go over 20 different types of scams on these live streams. And we release videos about most of these scams. We share them on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page. And our goal is to spread awareness of these scams. Because again, they're all active. They're all currently circulating. We're being targeted in so many ways, whether it's over the phone, by email, through text message, even regular postal service letters. You know, the scammers are still using that, right? So we're being targeted from all directions here. It's important to be aware of what these scammers are doing, who they're impersonating, what they're up to these days. So they're constantly advancing. The scammers are using AI. They're becoming more and more convincing and trickier, right? So awareness is key to recognizing these scams before it's too late. And by too late, I mean, once you send money, once they trick you into sending money, very rarely are you going to get it back. So scam awareness is important. It's critical. It's really the only way you're going to guarantee you're going to protect your money is if you don't get scammed in the first place, right? And that's our goal here. We want to empower you to be able to recognize these scams before it's too late. And anybody can fall victim to the scams we discussed. These are all scams that target individuals. You know, there's a lot of training and programs out there for employees and businesses and protecting, you know, corporations from scammers and hackers and cybersecurity. But for the individual, there's really not much out there. You know, for the older folks getting scammed and targeted by these scammers, there's really not many resources. So we're trying to do our best over here, trying to do something good and get information out there by creating videos, doing this live stream every week. We have our free mailing list. Again, you can join at scamware101.com to join mailing list. And definitely follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can find us at Scamware101, but if you can't find us, we have the links right on our homepage here to Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. So head on over to our website, scamware101.com. We have links to all our social media pages. Now, with that said, let's get back into these scams. And the next scam we're going to talk about are grandparent scams. Now, the thing with these grandparent scams, it's when scammers impersonate a distressed relative, claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victim. Right, and a lot of people think these grandparent scams, like, wait a minute, the scammer's going to impersonate a loved one. I would know if they were impersonating my daughter. I would know if they were impersonating my kid. Right, but it's not necessarily true. These scammers do this for a living. They're very convincing. And what's great about this grandparent scam is we actually have a video to show you of one of these scammers performing this scam. So you can actually see how they impersonate the child, how they impersonate the police officer, and how they trick the victim into thinking that's actually one of their loved ones. All right, so let's take a look at this grandparent scam video. And by the way, this is one of those scams that should really frustrate everybody, you know, because it targets our loved ones, it targets our parents, it targets our grandparents, and it uses you as the bait, right? Or if you're the older folks here and it's using your kids as bait to target you, right? And it's just a very low, sneaky crime that targets older folks. That's why it's called a grandparent scam. And it really is a scam that specifically targets your loved ones, you know? So anyway, we have this video here of one of these grandparent scammers. He's located in Dominican Republic, and there was a scam baiter on YouTube. It goes by name Scam Sandwich, right? That's his handle over on YouTube. So you can check out his channel for the full video over there. Again, his name was Scam Sandwich, was the guy who was able to get this footage. This is just a short clip of the scammer, but his whole video is fascinating. So check it out on his YouTube channel. But anyway, here's a short clip. He was able to get into his scammer's webcam and record him in the process of doing one of these grandparent scams. So you're able to see this scammer, how he impersonates the loved one, how he impersonates law enforcement. And he's also one quick note before we watch this video, this clip. This scammer is known as an opener, right? So his job is to initially reach out to the victims and get the scam going, right? So this is the one that impersonates the loved one. He impersonates a cop, but then he says, "Stand by, and we'll be reaching back out to you." Right. Then closers, different scammers take over. So he hands it off to closers. But this footage is of the opener and how the scam gets opened. All right, so let's take a look here. If the volume's too low, let me know in the YouTube chat. If it gets a little laggy, just stand by. It'll unlag once the video's clip is done. We'll see how it goes. Again, this is an example of a grandparent scammer. He's from the Dominican Republic, and he's attempting to scam a victim here.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next.
So that was an opener, a scammer known as an opener who doing a grandparent scam. And see how that could be convincing? Like he starts off, he just impersonates the child real quick, and it makes it sound like they're crying. You know, it's only a few seconds, like, "Ma, I've been arrested," you know, and then boom, and then he starts impersonating the cop, right? So you could see how it happens so quick. You know, the older victim's like confused, and the next thing you know, she's talking to a cop who's saying, you know, your daughter's been arrested, she's been in trouble. You can see how someone could get tricked by this. Also, the scammer, notice he used some tricks. He says that I've confiscated her phone, right? So that's just to trick the victim into not trying to call the daughter, right? None of this happened. This is all scam, you know, but it's just a trick they use to try, you know, don't bother trying to call her phone because we confiscated it, right? And then the request for secrecy. They said, you know, she's embarrassed, so let's respect her wishes, not tell anybody right now. That's all part of the secrecy red flag, right? So anyway, as far as the victim goes, she was warned by the person who was able to record this. He was able to reach that victim and warn her. So in this case, she didn't get scammed, but she was about to, if he wasn't able to warn her. But luckily, he was. And yeah, this was part of a grandparent scam or organization over in the Dominican Republic, and we have some fascinating details about this scam also from this article that came out of New Jersey Federal Court. I don't know if the guy we just watched is part of the same Dominican Republican defendants, but let's see here. Let me just read you. Okay, NJ Federal Court charges 3 additional Dominicans in grandparent scam. Right, and we just watched the guy from the Dominican Republic here So they actually describe exactly what this guy was doing. According to the indictment, the conspirators engaged in a long-running grandparent or family in need of bail scam against hundreds of seniors across the United States, including in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. As detailed in court filings, members of the conspiracy referred to as openers, and that's what we just watched. We watched an opener. Openers called elderly victims in the United States and impersonated the victim's children, grandchildren, or other close relatives. Typically, the victim was told that their grandchild had been in a car accident, was arrested in connection with an accident, and needed help. Once openers tricked victims into believing their loved ones were in dire trouble, right? That's what we just watched with the opener. Others working at the call centers, known as closers, allegedly impersonated defense attorneys, police officers, or court personnel and convinced victims to provide thousands of dollars in cash to help their loved ones. Right, so that's how a scam works. This guy opens it, and then he says, stand by, we're going to have people call you. These other victims then start calling her, or these other scammers, then start calling the victim. So they'll impersonate a defense attorney that needs money. Then they'll impersonate a police officer that needs money. Then they'll impersonate court personnel that needs money. They just keep going and making up agencies until the victim has no money left. They want to clear the victim out. That's what's kind of ruthless about these scammers, is they don't just stop with like, we tricked them into $500 or something. Instead, they try to clear the person out. They just keep going and making up new fees due to get your loved one free. So that's a grandparent scam. And, we hear a lot about them coming out of the Dominican Republic, but recently there was another indictment that came out of Canada. So there was a group in Canada that was running one of these grandparent scams too. So these scam organizations are all over the place. Some are easier to find and arrest than others. Like I'm sure the one in Canada was easy to get once they had it. Canada's friendly with the U.S., but when scammers are located in other places, like Myanmar or something like that, China, you're not going to get to them easily. But anyway, grandparent scams. Be aware of them. Watch out for them. They're a real thing, and they're convincing. Don't think that you wouldn't fall for this or a loved one wouldn't fall for this. Right? Because they could be convincing. We just watched a video. In a matter of like 10 seconds, a scammer impersonates a distressed loved one and then switches over to pretend to be a cop. It's very quick, and someone could be convinced by that. So make sure your loved ones are aware of these grandparent scams. Insist that they reach you before doing anything. The real advice, they say actually make up code words and questions that only you and your parents will know to confirm what's really going on. But the main thing is be aware of this one and don't just immediately start giving out money to these organizations. If a loved one is truly in trouble and arrested, look, ask where they're calling from, and then hang up and reach out directly if your concern is real. And try to call your loved one anyway. There's no reason you should stay on the phone and not try to contact anybody. But don't just trust somebody calling you up. And this is how scammers use fear and emotions to trick victims. They just try to get someone frantic and worried about their loved one, and that they react without thinking. So that's a grandparent scam. That was a video of a grandparent scam. Be aware of them. Next one we're going to talk about. This one's extremely common right now, and we're actually being targeted from all angles with these fake order scams. We're receiving phone calls about these. We're receiving text messages about these. We're receiving emails about these. And the idea of these fake order scams is victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. Again, it could be a phone call, it could be a text message, it could be an email. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal financial information. Right? So the thing that's tricky about these fake order scams is they can impersonate any vendor and they can claim that any product was purchased. So we're seeing all different variations of these fake order scams going out there. And the whole idea is to trick a victim into calling to dispute an order. Right? The victim thinks they're calling customer support. They're really calling scammers. Because it's important to recognize as well, these scammers, you're not just up against one person, right? They're working in teams. There's call centers full of scammers. Desks lined up with scammers waiting for calls to come in. Reading scripts to scam whoever calls in. And that's who you're going to reach when you call one of these fake phone numbers, whether it's a fake tech support number that we were mentioning earlier, or this case a fake order scam. So we have a few examples to share with this one. These are all extremely recent. And this first example is a text message. Let me get a better view for you here. Jump back to that in a second. All right, so fake order scam. Here's a text message version of this scam. This one was reported to me by multiple people. Let me know in chat if you received this scam too. But this specific text message was reported to me multiple times. It's active, it's circulating, and the text message impersonates Apple. It claims that a purchase was made under your Apple Pay, $143 at Apple Store. All right, and then it says, call this number immediately to cancel this charge. And that's an example of a fake order notification, right? You get notified of an order, but it's fake. The goal is to get you to call a fake phone number that actually calls a scammer. They want you to dispute this fake order. So this is a real screenshot of these fake Apple Pay text messages that are going out. Don't trust them. Be aware that they're circulating. So that's the text message version of this. But I also mentioned we're being targeted over the phone as well, right? So let's take a listen to a couple robocalls that are going out. And here's two of the common examples most commonly reported to me with these fake order scams. The first one is a call. It claims that it's Amazon and a MacBook Pro was purchased under your Amazon account. That's the first example we're going to listen to. It then says to press 1 to dispute the charge. All right. Then a second example we're going to listen to, it impersonates Walmart, and it says that a PlayStation was purchased under your account. And it wants you to call back the number shown. All right, so let's take a listen to these two phone calls. If you get phone calls like these, don't trust them. Don't hit a number to dispute them or call them back. Instead, go check your account directly. Right? If you get a call claiming to be from Amazon, just go check your Amazon account directly. Don't go trusting the unsolicited phone call or calling back the number left. So here, let's take a listen to this example of fake order scam phone call.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
So that was the first example of a fake order scam phone call. It says a MacBook Pro was purchased under your Amazon account, and that tells you to press 1 to talk to a representative. But if you press 1, you'll be connected to a scammer. So if you get a phone call like this, don't go pressing 1. If you're concerned that's real, which it won't be, but if you're concerned that's real, go check your Amazon account directly or check your Amazon app for any unusual purchases. But don't interact with this phone call. The next example, let's take a listen to that of a fake order scam phone call.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
Also, notice that red flag at the end where it says call this number, callback number. That's always a red flag if they don't leave a real phone number. If they're instructing you to call the number on your caller ID or to call the number shown, they can't even leave a real phone number behind. It's a big red flag. That's a scam, no matter who they're claiming that they are. But anyway, that was an example of a fake order scam phone call. This one impersonated Walmart and says that a PlayStation was purchased. And that says to call back the number shown, which will actually be a number that connects you to a scammer. All right, so you get phone calls like these, don't trust them. They're examples of fake order scam phone calls. They're a little tricky because the vendor, they could claim to be any vendor. The product, they could claim to have purchased any product under your account, right? So you need to be aware more of how the scam works, right? Don't just trust notifications claiming an order was made. Verify. If you're concerned that's real, verify by logging into your account. Don't click any links. Don't call any numbers that they instruct you to, but go check your account directly. So far we listened to 2 phone call versions of fake order scam phone calls. We also saw a text message version, impersonating Apple Pay. Again, fake order scams. But what about the email version? So we're aware of an email version of this because here's a victim's story reported back in August 2nd, 2024. So about a year ago, it says a 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. So this happened about a year ago. The scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase. All right, so before we continue, that's the scam right there. That's the fake order scam. All right, she gets a fake order notification. In this case, it was an email, and it claims that an iPhone was purchased, and then it tells her to call a number to dispute it. But that number is actually connected to a scammer. So this is exactly what happened to her. She gets an email saying an iPhone was purchased, and the call up to dispute it. She calls to dispute it. She's actually connected to a scammer. All right, the scammer tells her she had multiple open accounts in her name across various states, and she was informed someone was using her identity. So this is how they go into that whole narrative of your accounts are not safe, your money's not safe, somebody has access to your accounts, somebody's using your identity, right? And then they convince you to withdraw the money. So in her case, after she was tricked by one of these fake order scam emails, according to police, scammers then connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. Right, so there's a red flags there, and that's why the gift cards are such a huge red flag. So many of these victim stories, they get down to the point where they have the money withdrawn, and then they're instructed to get gift cards, and it's almost like their last chance to save themselves from a scam is recognizing, wait a minute, gift cards, that's a scam, that's a big red flag. Why would they be telling me to purchase gift cards? A bank's not going to tell you to purchase gift cards. The government's not going to tell you to purchase gift cards. All right. The CIA or whoever they're impersonating is not going to tell you to purchase gift cards. So it's a big red flag. And unfortunately, it started with the fake order scam notification. Right? And once they got the victim calling up and on the phone, then you get that whole narrative about your funds aren't safe, someone's using your identity. And they trick you into purchasing gift cards or cryptocurrency. But anyway, so there you have it. That's examples of fake order scams. Again, extremely common. Important to be aware of that one because we're being targeted again from all directions. We're being targeted over the phone, through those phone calls we just listened to. We're being targeted through text message, through that text message I shared. We're being targeted through email, as we heard through that victim's story. Right? They're saying that an iPhone was purchased. They're saying that a PlayStation was purchased. They're saying a MacBook was purchased. So be aware of these fake order scams. Make sure your loved ones are aware of them. It's important stuff. And also, we did a video about fake order scams too. So those examples we just shared, we have a video on our YouTube channel. So go subscribe and share that video with a loved one. Lots more coming up here on this live stream. If you just joined us, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our goal is to spread awareness of common scams, and one of the ways we do that is through this live stream every week. Usually on Thursdays, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. You go for a few hours here, and we go over about 20 different types of scams, show you different examples, text messages, emails, phone calls. We have a free email list that you could join, and we could send you reminders about when we're going live, send you some useful scam awareness tips over on our website, scamware101.com, and hit join mailing list. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. So give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And hey, it helps spread awareness. All our content is we're putting it out there for a good cause. We're putting it out there to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals that everybody should really be aware of. and simply liking, subscribing, following. That helps our content get out there a little bit more. So you could help spread awareness by hitting like, follow, subscribe, and all that. If you want to help out financially too, we got the donate link, scamaware101.com/donate. You can scan the QR code too. And also over on YouTube, we have the super thanks enabled, so you could use those if you want to send some money through YouTube too. Have some products on our YouTube channel, some mugs, Scamaware travel mug, Scamaware 101 travel mug here, keeping the coffee nice and warm. We have those, some stickers, some mouse pads over on our YouTube store, so check that out. Help support our mission here. The next scam we're going to talk about, and we've been seeing this one pick up again recently, so important to be aware of this scam. Undeliverable package scams. This is basically when victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages and are asked to click a link to resolve. The link opens a fake website impersonating UPS, FedEx, or USPS. Any personal or financial details provided by the victim are stolen by the scammers. There never was a package. Right? So these undeliverable package notifications, if you get a text message claiming a package can't be delivered, it's a scam. UPS, FedEx, USPS, DHL, Amazon, they don't send text messages saying that a package can't be delivered and asking you to pay a fee or to pay a redelivery fee, or they don't send text messages like that. So if you get a text message, especially if it's claimed to be UPS, FedEx, rest assured that it's a scam. I'm going to show you some examples of what these text messages might look like. And it's also important to be aware of these because they're picking up again. They slowed down a little bit, but reports are starting to increase again about these. And these undeliverable package scams, they always pick up during the holidays too, because there's a lot of packages being sent and received. And people are more likely to fall for this type of scam during that time. So here's an example of a text message you might get. It's an undeliverable package scam. USPS package has arrived at the warehouse and cannot be delivered due to incomplete address information. Please confirm your address in the link within 12 hours. Right, but if you click that link, it's going to take you to a fake website that steals all your financial details entered. Also, notice at the bottom there's that instruction we mentioned earlier. The instruction that says, please reply yes, then exit and reopen the text message. We see that instruction a lot on scam text messages. You know, scammers want you to reply. And replying does two things. One, it notifies them that you're reading and replying to a text message, so they'll send you even more scams. But also, it activates the link, so it makes it easier for you to click their scam link and open it. So scammers always include that, not always, but they will include that instruction. That's a red flag if you see it. But anyway, I have a couple more examples of the USPS or undeliverable package scam examples. Here's another text message. In this case, they created a group text. They renamed it to USPS. And then it says, since the package does not have a house number, the package transportation is interrupted. Please update. And it's got a link to a fake website. A couple more examples. This one includes the USPS logo. And it has an attachment, an HTML attachment. It says, your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click the HTML file above to update your address. It looks legit with the logo and everything there, but it's a scam. You should never open attachments, unsolicited attachments like these, because this could, in this case, it just links to a website, but it could have contained something malicious. It could have infected your device with a virus or malware. So if you get a text message from someone you don't know, or one claiming to be from USPS, or there's a delivery for you, don't open the attachment. It could be something bad. And this example is another example of the undeliverable package scam. This one has an HTML attachment, but here's another one that's practically identical and it has a PDF attachment. USPS logo, your package has arrived at distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Right, so FedEx, UPS, USPS, they don't send text messages like these. If you get them, they're a scam. If you did click on a link, here's an example of what it might look like. This is a fake website. But it looks convincing, right? It's got the colors, the logo. But any information provided gets stolen by the scammers. It even has a fake tracking number to try and look legit. But this is a scam. Excuse me. So that's an undeliverable package scam. I do have a story I'd like to share about this scam. It was published last year in Wired magazine. So August last year. And basically what happened was someone's wife, she fell for this scam. You know, the undeliverable package scam was impersonating USPS, and she entered the credit card details and fell for it. But her husband ended up hacking the scammers. He got into their network and found out some fascinating information about the scammers behind this text message, this undeliverable package text message scam. And one of the first things this article mentions is he saw that they were sending out up to 100,000 scam texts per day globally. Right? So that gives you an idea of the range and the power that these scammers have, technology-wise. They're able to send out hundreds of thousands of scam text messages per day. Right? So that's why we're getting so many of these. And this was almost a year ago. So they could probably send out even more now. As technology only advances and gets better, right? So over 100,000 scam text messages per day. And in this case, the group was actually a Chinese language group behind the scam. So it was a Chinese, criminal group sending out these text messages. And that's just one group. So who knows how many other groups are behind it. But in this case, they were a Chinese language group. They were sending out 100,000 scam text messages per day. And people entered 438,669 unique credit cards. So that's almost 500,000 credit cards that these scammers were able to get from victims. 500,000 credit cards. So that gives you an idea of why these scammers do what they do. It's lucrative for them, as long as they're not going to get caught. He said many people entered multiple cards, and they had 50,000 email addresses logged. Some of them were military and government email addresses. So victims were spread across the United States. But anyway, 100,000 text messages per day. Chinese, group that's very hard to reach. When the scammers are in a place like China, it's very hard to reach them. Legally, at least. And it was lucrative. So that was the undeliverable package scam, these text messages that are going out. And again, we're seeing more reports of these recently picking up again. So be aware of them. If you get a text message like that, don't trust it. How are we all doing tonight? Let me know in the chat. We're live streaming on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm only monitoring the YouTube chats, though. So if you have a question or want to share a story, hop on over to the YouTube live stream and type it in one of those chats. Good to see everybody. Thank you for the thumbs up. The more likes, the more subscribes we get. Hey, the more it spreads awareness of these scams, and that's our goal. So you could help by clicking like, subscribe, following us on your favorite social media platform. Join our free email list. Scamware101.com. Join mailing list. The next version of this undeliverable package scam, because we actually have a couple different versions for you. The first one was a text message version, which is the more common one right now. But last year, during the holidays, we saw an email version of this one that worked a little differently. And here's some examples of those emails. This one impersonates FedEx. We're sorry your package appears to be delayed. The difference with this email is they're offering a product as an apology for the package being delayed. So, but this is all a trick. This is all a scam. FedEx, UPS, they don't offer compensation products for delayed packages. So if you get an email like this or any kind of text message version like this, you can't trust it. Definitely know it's a scam. And you can see that this was from last year during the holidays, November 16th, towards the holidays. And here's one a week later, on November 22nd, that impersonates UPS. But it's the same deal. We're sorry your package appears to be missing, and they're offering a compensation product. But again, this is a scam. You can't trust it. If you get any emails like this, any text messages like these, rest assured that's a scam. You don't UPS, FedEx, they don't offer free compensation packages every time a package is delayed. So even though the text message version that we just went over is more common, be on the lookout for email versions of this scam too. And we see that a lot when it comes to scams. Email scams, a lot of times we'll see text message versions of them eventually. Or text message scams, eventually sometimes we'll see email versions of those scams. Because it's very easy to just modify a scam that's a text message into an email and vice versa. So if you get contacted one way over the other, that doesn't make either of them more secure or more trustworthy. You need to verify all of them. Next scam we're going to talk about, fake retail website scams. So these fake retail website scams. They pick up more during the holidays, but look, there's fake websites active all year round. Scammers are constantly putting up fake websites. It's very easy for them to throw up upload these fake websites. A lot of times they have this black market scammer software that just does it for them in 2 seconds, already pre-built and ready to go. And it's easy for them to set up these fake retail websites that just steal your information. And they'll list products there that with prices that seem too good to be true, right? And in the case of these fake retail websites, scammers create fake websites to sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. Exactly, right? They lure victims in, offering a deal that sounds unbeatable. Here's a pair of Bluetooth iPods, wireless earbuds, worth $200. Just pay shipping, right? Something smells fishy. You can't trust it. It's too good to be true. And the way that these fake retail websites, let me start off with some examples for you. These examples are actually what the previous scam would have linked to. That undeliverable package scam that offered a compensation product. That one actually linked to these fake retail websites. But I'm using them as examples for the fake retail websites. It's got the fake Black Friday sale up here. And it's offering you wireless headphones that are supposedly valued at $175 for $8.95 shipping. It's too good to be true. And it is, because any information you put in here will get stolen. Hey, billing details, payment information. Here's another example of a fake retail website. Portable heater. Again, $175. Just pay shipping, $8.69. But it'll steal your shipping information, your credit card or debit card that you enter. And then, here's another example. Is the wireless earbuds. They claim that they're valued at $175, but just pay for shipping, $8.69. But it's a scam. You're never going to get the item. Any billing details you enter are going to get stolen. They're going to do a lot more than charge you $8.69. So be suspicious of these fake retail websites. And look, you could end up on these fake retail websites in so many different ways. We mentioned a little earlier that these scammers purchase ads. And it's true. They'll purchase ads on Google, sponsored listings on Google. So they'll have their results come up first when you're searching for wireless earbuds, for example. Scammers purchase an ad. They come up first. And you click it and you end up on these fake retail websites. Or they could purchase ads on Facebook and other social media sites. So you'll be scrolling through your feed and an ad pops up. Just pay for shipping. Get a $200 pair of earbuds. But it's fake. You click on it, you get taken to the scammer website. So it's a big red flag when they're offering you a product that's worth $100, $200 when they say just pay for shipping. Do some research. You need to confirm the website is real. See if there's any reviews, people talking about the website. Be super suspicious if the deal seems too good to be true. It's a fake retail website scam. How we all doing out there this evening? Welcome to the live stream. About wrapping up our second hour here. Another 10 minutes or so. We'll be going for 2 hours. Got about another hour left. Lots of good stuff to cover this evening. We're getting about halfway through the scams. We got about another 10 left, 10 or 11 left. Still, all good scams to be aware of. All common scams that target individuals. You know, it's important for everybody to be aware of these scams. These are the type of scams you get targeted while you're sitting at home, mind your own business, and suddenly you get a text message or a phone call, an email, claiming there's a problem with your bank or an order's been placed. Let me know in the chat over here on YouTube if you've encountered these scams. So the next one we're going to talk about is fake gift card received email scams. All right, this is when victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. Right, and these gift cards could arrive to you in many different forms by email. Right? It might claim to be from your employer. It might claim to be from a vendor and you're a valued customer, so here's a free gift card. Click here to activate it. It might even impersonate a family member. Because again, scammers know things about you and they will impersonate family members of, you know, this type of scam. And an example of these gift card received email scams, you might get an email that looks like this. Claims to be from Venmo. Your $50 gift card is here. Your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. Right, so now you might be thinking, okay, my employer just sent me a rewards card. Great. All right, but what you should do is don't you click that link because this is a scam. What you do is you want to reach out to whoever this is supposedly from. So if it says your employer sent this to you, reach out to your employer first. Right? You're going to want to say thank you anyway, right? So reach out to them first, confirm they actually sent it. No matter who it is. If it says it's from a family member, reach out to that family member first before activating it. Because again, you're going to want to say thank you anyway, right? So reach out, say thank you, confirm that they actually sent the thing. Because this is a scam. So be aware of these gift card received scams. And we went over, and that's the email version of this scam. You might get a pop-up on your computer. You know, an ad pops up offering you a free gift card. You might get a letter in the mail or a postcard offering you a free gift card. You might see a QR code that says scan here for a free gift card. Right? Any kind of free gift card offer, be suspicious. How y'all doing tonight? Let me know you're watching. Just coming up on our third hour here. Wrapping up our second hour, going into our third hour. So far this evening, we went over about 10 different types of scams. Shared many examples, phone calls, emails, text messages. We have a lot more coming up. Got about another hour or so left of this live stream and a lot more to cover as far as scams go. All recent scams, all important to be aware of. All currently active examples that are circulating. And the idea is to spread awareness of these scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones from becoming a victim. Because you don't want to find out after it's too late. And what I mean by too late is that once you realize a scam is a scam, after you sent the money, it's already too late. Very rarely are you going to be able to recover that money from these scammers. So awareness is key into recognizing these scams before you become a victim. That's what we do. So we do this live stream every week to spread awareness of these scams. We also publish videos on YouTube, so definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. A lot of scams we're covering this evening, we have YouTube videos about them too. So definitely subscribe, check out the videos we have on our YouTube channel. And make sure to join our free email list on scamaware101.com. Join the mailing list. We'll send you reminders when we're going live. We'll let you know when we post new videos. That's the best way to keep up to date with what's going on over here at Scamware 101. So check out our website, scamware101.com. Hit join mailing list. And we're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, Blue Sky. We're most active on Facebook. So definitely follow us if you have Facebook. We're actually live streaming now on Facebook and Instagram. Let me check on those streams, make sure we're still good. Looks like Facebook is still going. Looks like Instagram is still going. All right, cool. Hey, and if you're watching over there on Instagram and Facebook, say hi in the comments. Hit the like button. Let us know you're watching. We just started streaming on Facebook and Instagram. This is only the second week we're doing it so far. So we're going to keep doing it, and we'll see if anybody participates in the comments or anything like that. Just another way to get the information out there, you know. But if you have a question or comment that you want me to see, hop on over to the YouTube stream, and I'm monitoring the chat over there. I'll answer your questions and comments in there. Usually I take a second coffee break, but I'm good right now. So I think we're just going to keep on going into some more common scams. Updating the schedule here. 40. Hey, CJ, welcome back to the chat. Good to see you. CJ Web Design. Just wrapping up our second hour here. About to go into our third hour of the live stream tonight. We usually go for about 3, sometimes 4 hours. But we'll probably wrap it up around 3 hours tonight. We've got about an hour left. A lot more scam examples coming up here. All good stuff. If you're just joining, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. We're going to keep on going with some more common scams. We're a little more than halfway through, I think. So the next couple scams we're going to talk about are government impersonation scams, at least the next couple examples. We're going to talk about Social Security scams. We're going to talk about IRS impersonation scams. We're going to share a couple examples of those. Excuse me again. So the Social Security impersonation scams. Actually, before I go into, just want to see, got some comments in the chat here. Yeah, CJ, I haven't heard any examples of that one, but it doesn't surprise me. You know, the scammers, they do try to extort you in various ways and threaten you, so it doesn't surprise me they would just straight up threaten violence. Oh, Dave, thanks, man. Thanks for the super thanks. $10. Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Excellent, man. Always appreciate you here and for support and commenting. Yeah, it helps spread awareness too. So thank you for the super thanks. $10. Awesome on YouTube. Appreciate it, man. CJ Webb, yeah, I know which scam you're talking about there. I probably won't go into it on YouTube because, I don't know, it could end up going against, I don't know, say one thing wrong, you end up getting kicked off, so I'm not going to get too deep into those type of scams. Or if anything, I'd may make a video very specifically, but yeah, I've seen those emails too. Yep. But anyway, yeah, thanks, CJ. Appreciate the comments, though, the engagement. All right, cool. So next scam we're going to talk about here are some government scams. We got the Social Security impersonation scams, and there's a couple different versions of this scam that you have to look out for because again, you're being targeted over the phone or by text message by these different types of scams. So you could get a phone call that impersonates Social Security, and they claim there's a problem with your Social Security number or your benefits, and they might threaten action like canceling your account or not being able to process a payment if you don't provide information like a bank account number or credit card details or any other personal information, right? So that's one version of these impersonation scams. They reach out to you over the phone, claim to be with Social Security, and there's an issue. So always be skeptical of any phone calls that are coming in claiming to be from Social Security. You should always, no matter what they're saying, you should say, okay, thank you, hang up, and then you can call Social Security directly if you're concerned that it's real. But don't continue to engage the caller. And then another example of Social Security impersonation are emails, right? Because they'll send out emails that impersonate Social Security. And an example that we're going to share right here is here's an email that came in, and this is how it would look like on a mobile device, on a phone. And you can see that the from, it just says Department of, you can't really see what it says. And then it looks like it has a link from socialsecurity.gov, SSA.gov website. And it says, thank you for using Social Security Administration services. To see your statement, please download the file from this link. So it's trying to trick the victim into clicking a link supposedly from Social Security. But if you click that link, it's going to install a virus on the device. Here's that same email with a little more detail viewed on a computer. So now you can see the full email address, and you could tell right away this isn't actually from SSA.gov, first of all, because you could tell up the top that's from some other website in Kenya, I believe, .co.ke, right? But then the other thing is if you hover the mouse over the link, now you can tell it doesn't actually point to SSA.gov. It points to a completely different website. So it's trying to trick you into clicking that link. If you click that link, you'll get a virus from clicking that link. So this isn't really a statement from Social Security. Even though it says it's from Social Security Administration, they're trying to trick you into clicking a link by saying it's a statement. So any communications that were unsolicited claiming to be from Social Security, whether it's a phone call or an email, be suspicious. Social Security's warned us about these scams on their website. Social Security impersonation scams are a big deal. They're such a big deal and a common problem that this is what the envelopes look like that Social Security sends out, like the real envelope from Social Security. They have a big scam alert warning right on the outside of the envelope trying to make people aware. If you receive a suspicious phone call, hang up. Do not give them money or personal information. And big letters, scam alert, scammers are pretending to be government employees. They may threaten you and may demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action. Do not be fooled. Right? These are real warnings that are being put on Social Security envelopes mailed out to people. So that gives you an idea of how big of a problem this is. They're actually modified what the envelopes they send out say, warning people about Social Security impersonation scams. So be suspicious. Anybody claiming to be from Social Security. Next one we're going to look at, next scam, IRS impersonation scams. So fraudsters impersonate tax authorities, and they claim that the victim owes taxes and must pay immediately to avoid penalties or arrest. They often demand payment by untraceable methods, and they demand it immediately over the phone. So this is kind of similar to an arrest warrant scam, where they call the victim and they threaten them with arrest. But in this case, they're impersonating the IRS and threatening arrest. So that's an example of a scammer calling over the phone and impersonating the IRS. Always be suspicious. The IRS isn't going to really reach out to you unsolicited or unknown over the phone. They're going to get in contact with you usually through mail first. Right. So always be suspicious of a phone call that claims to be the IRS. But we have another version of a IRS impersonation scam. It's a text message that claims to be from the IRS. And here's an example of that actual text message. We were actually warned this year from the IRS about this text message that's circulating. And you can see it says Internal Revenue Service at the top. you're eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. All right, but this is a scam. And the IRS warned us specifically about this scam this tax season. If you click that link, you'll be taken to a fake website that steals any banking details you enter. And you could tell their link, they try to trick you because it starts with irs.gov, but then it continues to .subsidy-ion.com. So it's not really an irs.gov website, but it's one of the ways they try to trick you by putting irs.gov in the website name. And there's that instruction that we mentioned earlier, right? If you've been tuning into live stream for a little bit, you heard me mention this instruction a few times right here, where at the bottom of the text it says, please reply with yes, then exit and reopen the text message. When you see an instruction like that, that's a red flag. It's a scam. They're trying to trick you into replying and reopening the text message. But anyway, this is just another example of an IRS impersonation scam. In this case, it's a text message, and they're trying to trick you by saying that there's a payment that could come to you. You just could give us your banking information. So if you get this text message, know it's a scam. It's 100% a scam. The IRS warned us this year about this. They said there is no $1,400 economic impact payment. And if there was, they wouldn't be sending out text messages about it like this. So be aware of IRS impersonation scams, whether it's a text message like that, or it's an email with a link, or a phone call of somebody that's claiming to be from the IRS. There's another scam to watch out for during tax season and throughout the year too. And it's not just an IRS impersonation scam. It's actually a tax forgiveness scam. And that's when scammers impersonate tax forgiveness services. And a lot of their voicemails will be threatening, and it'll say that you owe back taxes. But if you call this number within a week, they'll be able to help you and get forgiveness. But it's a scam. They don't know if you owe back taxes or not. They're just trying to scare people into calling them. And we have an example of one of those voicemails that we're going to play for you right now. Here it is.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick, and I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you. 2.
So that was actually an example of a tax forgiveness scam. It's just a robocall that's going out to everybody. No matter who it calls, it says, you owe back taxes, and you got a week to call us back. Right, but it's a scam. They make it sound very personalized. I got to hand the AI credit because it sounds realistic. It really does sound like a friendly woman on the other end of the line who has your file on her desk. But they just made it sound like that. That's AI generated. Everybody hears the exact same message. It's not like your file is sitting on her desk. And it's a scam. Right, so be aware of that one. It always picks up during tax season. It goes on for a little bit after tax season. Right, and they're using fear. Using fear to try and scare you whether you owe back taxes or not. And if you're concerned you do owe back taxes or you want to research tax forgiveness options, talk to your accountant. Reach out to an actual accountant that you know and trust or has reviews or at least is local or seems real, right? You don't want to just call these unsolicited. You don't want to return the calls of these unsolicited phone calls. And by the way, there are so many red flags on that recording, right? They opened up by saying this is the Activation Department. So it didn't even make sense. It was a very weird phone call, which by the way, if you had called back, at least when I tested out the call back, it ended up disconnecting and it was a very strange phone system set up. It was clearly not a professional tax forgiveness organization. So anyway, be aware of these tax forgiveness scams or tax season scams, whether it's IRS impersonation scams or these fake tax forgiveness scams, phone calls. any unsolicited communication claiming to be the IRS, anything having to do with taxes, I'd be suspicious. Government agencies, any government agencies. If someone's calling you up, and look, these agencies, whether it's government agencies, they're aware of scams. They know that they're out there. So for you to say, look, thank you for letting me know, I need to verify a few things, they understand that. They're not going to threaten you with arrest over the phone and be threatening over the phone. They'll understand that. If they try to keep you on the phone, telling you not to discuss it with anybody, it's a big red flag. How are we all doing tonight? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. See some new faces. See some new returning viewers. Awesome. Good to see everybody. We got this live stream going on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm not really monitoring the Facebook or Instagram chats that much here, but the streams look like they're still going on Facebook and still on Instagram. So if you're in there, hit that thumbs up, say hi, let me know you're watching, and help spread awareness. I'll check out the comments later on those streams. But if you want to ask a question or talk in real time, you could hop over to the YouTube stream where I am monitoring the chat and answering questions and interacting over there. And whatever you're watching us on, hit that thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe, follow, help us spread awareness about these scams. If you're just joining in too, my name is Jared. I'm with Scamware 101, and our goal is to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals. It's important to be aware of these scams, to be able to recognize these scams before you become a victim. Because if you recognize these scams too late and you've already sent money to these scammers, it's very unlikely you're going to get it back. And awareness is key to recognizing and preventing these scams, protecting your loved ones from these scams, and really working as a community to spread awareness to the rest of the community about these scams. And that's our mission here. We do this live stream every week. In addition to releasing videos on our YouTube channel and posting examples on our website, we have a free mailing list that you could join, a free email list. So check that out. It's on scamaware101.com, and you could hit join mailing list. And we'll send you reminders when we're going live. We'll send you notifications when we add new videos. And it's really the best way to keep up to date with what's going on over here. We won't abuse the privilege. You can unsubscribe at any time, but we don't spam you or send you any junk. All legit, good emails to have and be aware of. So join our free mailing list, scamware101.com. And while you're there, you can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. So whatever you use, like, follow, subscribe. We're most active on Facebook, but hey, if you're on the other ones too, give us a like and follow. It'll help us get our content out more there. Trying to get our Facebook followers up. So if you have Facebook and you don't follow us yet, definitely follow us, facebook.com/scamaware101. The next scam we're going to talk about, I've been calling it a discount scam, but I don't know what the official name would be for it. But we're starting to see more reports of this scam. And basically, I have a phone call example to play for you of this scam. And it impersonates Comcast. And it claims that your 50% promotional offer is about to expire. It says it's going to expire today, and your bill is basically going to double. Right? It was a scam phone call. It's not real. But it says to call this number back, to talk about it. Right? So they're impersonating Comcast. They're saying your bill is going to double and to call back this number. Right? So the victim calls back the number. And how the scam works is the victim's told that their 50% discount is going to expire today, but there's a partnership going on, a promotional deal going on with Target, for example. And if you purchase a $500 Target gift card and pay the Comcast bill with it, we'll give you that same deal for the next year. You just need to pay with a Target gift card. So if you go to Target, purchase a $500 gift card, you pay a year in advance on your Comcast bill with the special offer. But it's a trick. They're trying to trick the victim into purchasing a gift card, thinking that they're paying their Comcast bill. Let me play an example of one of these phone calls you might receive. And there's reports of these impersonating other providers too, not just Comcast. So whichever provider you might have, just because we're using the Comcast one as an example, it doesn't mean the phone call you receive might not impersonate, Verizon or Optimum Online or Frontier or whichever other provider you might have. All right, but here's the Comcast version. And if you call back this number, they're going to try to trick you into purchasing a gift card. They'll say it's a promotional deal, but if you go to Target, purchase a gift card, we'll give you that price. But it's all a scam. It's all a lie. They're trying to scam you out of a gift card. So let's listen to that phone call.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
So that's an example of this discount gift card scam voicemail that's circulating. Again, this one impersonated Comcast. It said that your 50% promotional pricing is going to expire today. So basically your bill's going to double today. And to call back this number. So they're trying to scare you. Oh my God, my bill's going to double. I got to call back Comcast immediately. All right, but it's a scam. And once they get you on the phone, they're going to try to get you to purchase a gift card. So beware of that scam. That recording, I actually received that one. That one came to me. And I don't have Comcast, so I knew immediately it was a scam. But if someone had Comcast and got a phone call like that, they could easily get tricked into calling back the scammer. Again, we've seen reports of that one recently, so be aware of that one. On that note, it's 8 o'clock. And that means it's time for a second coffee break and final coffee break of the live stream. And then we're going to continue for the final hour uninterrupted with some more scam examples. We're going to go over some tools and software. We're going to have some fun with the scam tracker map over on the AARP website. So lots of good stuff coming up here. Got about an hour and a half or so left if we stay on schedule here. All good stuff, and stay tuned. If you haven't clicked like yet, give us a thumbs up, click like. Let us know you're watching. If you need to fill up your Scamaware 101 coffee mug, now's the time to do it. Because I'm going to fill up mine one more time, and we're going to get back to it in 5 minutes. So stick around. Lots of good stuff coming. Thanks for watching. All right. Welcome back, everybody. All right, cool. Welcome back to the live stream. Kicking off our third hour, the final hour, uninterrupted. Got the Scamware 101 coffee mug full and ready to go. Staying caffeinated and on point for the viewers out there. Usually we get a little bump from the West Coast here around 8 o'clock. So if you're joining from the West Coast, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. I'm monitoring the YouTube channel chat, or the YouTube live stream chat. So say hi in there and I'll respond. We're also on Instagram and Facebook too. So give it a like, a follow, and help us spread awareness about these scams. So far we went over about 15 different types of scams so far. Viewed a bunch of examples, phone calls, text messages, emails, all good stuff, all active, all current common scams to be aware of that are circulating and targeting individuals like yourselves and your loved ones. So recognizing these scams is key, and scam awareness is key to recognizing the scams early, before you become a victim, before you send money to these scammers. So we do this live stream every week. We have a YouTube channel. We release videos on the YouTube channel. We try to spread awareness on social media like Facebook and Instagram, Threads. So help us spread awareness. Go there, click like, follow, subscribe. Join our free mailing list over on scamaware101.com. And just click join mailing list. And while you're there, we have links to all our social media pages as well. So scamaware101.com, hit join mailing list. And we also have a lot of other good areas of the website that we're building up. Give you our upcoming events. We have a knowledge base that we're building out with scam information, educational resources. There's all links to third parties. We also have a tools and software page. I want to take a few minutes to go over the tools and software section of our website, because there is some useful links to third-party services and some affiliate links to save some money. So if you go to scamaware101.com, you click online tools and software. And the first 4 links at the top of the page we have is data breach lookup tools. And what you should do is click each of these links, enter your email address, enter your phone number, right? I know you're not supposed to do that. Definitely be suspicious when someone tells you to do that. But these websites are safe. They're reliable people, or the owners of the sites. But what you could do is you could put in your email address, put in your phone number, and it'll come back and it'll tell you what data breaches your information has been leaked in and what information has been leaked. And there's some serious stuff in there. There's a lot of logins that are exposed, that your passwords might be exposed already. Your medical information, your social security number. You might be surprised to see what comes up linked to your phone number and email address. All right, so all 4 of these links, there's 4 different lookup tools. Some just do email address, some just do phone number, some do both. So I do both, check out both. But definitely check out these 4 links and run the reports. The reports are free. They might try to sell you some like dark web monitoring afterwards, but you can still get the report for free. And you might be surprised to see what information is out there about you. And why should you care what information is out there about you? Well, the thing is, that's what scammers use when they're targeting you, right? That's how they know what bank you have, for example. So when they call up, they know what bank to say they are. It's because they breached your information from a third party. They found your payment information that you provided to a third party at some point, and now they know who your bank is, right? Or they might call you up to impersonate Social Security, and they'll say, "We have your Social Security number." It is to try to convince you that they're actually Social Security, but they can have your number from a breach. Right? You've provided to third parties to do credit checks and things like that, right? And now there's been breaches, so these scammers have this information, and they use it to make their scams more realistic. Also, there's just the security aspect of it. If your logins are exposed on some of these sites. You use the same password on every account, and one account gets breached, and now your email address and their password is used, your same login, it's exposed. And that's what these reports will come back. They'll tell you. They'll tell you the information that's been exposed. Because if these reports come back, whatever information is included on reports, scammers have access to too. They have access to even more. All right, so run the lookups. They're free. You run the lookups and just see what information's out there about you. Best case, they come back and there's no information about you. Good stuff. But if it comes back saying that a password or login is exposed, you want to know. This way, you're not using that same password and login for another account, right? So anyway, online tools and software over on scamware101.com. And that's the data breach lookup tools. So definitely check them out, and they're all free. Next section, security and privacy software. So we have some links to some paid software that we got approved as an affiliate for. And it's basically just Nord. We got approved as an affiliate for NordPass, NordVPN, and also Malwarebytes. So I went and I grabbed the best deals that I could find as far as being an affiliate with links, and put them here just to pass on the savings, right? So if you want a password manager, you should use a password manager. NordPass Premium, it's a great password manager, and you can get it for 2 years for like $35 with this link. So if you're considering purchasing NordPass, go ahead and use this link and save a big chunk of change, and we get a small cut from it too. Same for NordVPN. If you use NordVPN or you think about purchasing it, save 72%. The link's right there. And I think it was like you get it for like 2 years for like $105, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know. But it was a good deal. So the link's there. Click it if you are considering purchasing NordVPN and get the savings, right? And we have a link to Malwarebytes Premium. We also have a link to Malwarebytes Free further down the page. But as far as Premium goes, it's real-time protection. It runs on the computer constantly. And Malwarebytes is used throughout the IT industry for anybody that's dealt with cybersecurity or the IT world, computer repair, things like that. They're all familiar with Malwarebytes. They got a great reputation. It's used to clean up your computer and keep you safe from viruses. So the premium version runs in real time. And if you want the premium version, you can save 25%. Use my link. So we have those links there on our under security and privacy software, on our online tools and software page. So, but then we also have a link to some free security and privacy software too. Right, there's a link to Malwarebytes Browser Guard, which is pretty cool. I've been using this for a while now, and it blocks a lot of annoying ads and pop-ups and things like that that are on websites. It's a browser extension, so you just load it into Chrome or Firefox, or whatever your browser is, and it's pretty good. So the link's there. It'll help you block some annoying ads. Malwarebytes Free, right? I mentioned Premium earlier, but we have a link to Malwarebytes Free. So that's the free version. The only difference is not real-time protection. You would download it and just run a scan on demand, right? You just run a scan when you want to check every now and then. So check out that. You can download it for free. You can run it on your computer, and it'll clean it up for you. If your computer's running slow, you're getting pop-ups or something weird, it's a pretty good link to use to check your computer for that type of stuff. I have a link to Bitdefender Antivirus Free. It's a free antivirus. If you don't have an antivirus on your computer already, it's a free option for you. I'm not recommending that you replace any paid antivirus software you have, or if you're already using an antivirus you're happy with, great. But if you're just relying on the default Windows antivirus, this is a pretty good free one that you can just install on top of it, and it has a little bit more protection, mainly website browsing, protection. So better than no antivirus. I'm not saying replace what you got, but here's a free antivirus if you don't have one already. Then also we have some links to reverse image lookup tools, and these are great for romance scams. What these reverse image lookup tools are is, for example, you're on a dating website, you could take the person's pictures that you met and you run them through these reverse image tools. Take their profile picture, and you could see if their image is coming up anywhere else, which means they might not be who they say they are. They might have stolen those pictures. So that's what you use these reverse image lookups. You put the pictures that they sent you, you do a search, reverse image search, and it comes back. It tells you if those pictures are found anywhere else. There's a link to 3 different reverse image searches. They're all free. TinEye reverse image search is pretty well known. It's a good one. And then we've got Bing visual search and Google image search. We have a link to all 3. And it's just a useful way to reverse image lookup. Next, we have some website safety lookup tools. Got a link to Norton Safe Web. You check if a website is safe according to any ratings or reviews. Google Safe Browsing. You check if a website's been detected as unsafe or dangerous. Virus Total. It'll tell you if they detected any malware or other breaches on the website. So there's just some additional lookup tools you could use on it for a website when you're looking into one. And then finally, there's a couple links to some scam report lookup tools. We have a link to the BBB Scam Tracker tool and a link to the ARP Scam Tracking Map. And these are cool because it shows you the recent reports of scams. So you see what scams are being reported from where, and it gives you an idea of which ones are starting to become more common and picking up. In fact, what we're going to do is for the last 15 minutes of this live stream, we're not there yet, but once we get there, we're going to break out the ARP Scam Tracking Map, and we'll review some of the most recent reports and see what people are reporting too. We'll see if it lines up with the scams we went over, and it'll give us some additional scams to kind of talk about too before we wrap up the live stream. But that's the scam tracking map, the ARP scam tracking map, and also the BBB scam tracker tool. So these are all these links we have on our online tools and software page. Again, data breach lookup tools, security, privacy software, reverse image lookup tools, website safety lookup tools, scam report lookup maps, all good stuff. And if you take away anything from that page, let it be the data breach lookup tools, the first 4 links, because it's important to be aware of what logins and what information about you is out there. So again, check that out on scamaware101.com, and that's under the online tools and software section. How we all doing out there tonight? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the YouTube chat. It's good to see you all. I see we got Nigella. Good to see you again. I'm just reading some of the chat messages here. Yeah. We've seen some talk about just the threatening scams or just straight threatening you with violence if you don't pay. So there's those. See a couple people mentioning those. It's concerning. Start hearing about them more and more. That's a concerning one. Cool. Good to see everybody in the chat. A couple more new returning faces pop in here. Good to see you guys. Excellent. Welcome back, everybody. We're on the last hour of our live stream here. We got maybe about, what is this? We got maybe about half an hour left, 45 minutes left. Nah, probably about half an hour left. We still got a few more scams we got to go over here. We got through about 15 so far. Got about 5 more to go. And the last few scams we're going to focus on here, examples we're going to share, are actually snail mail scams or traditional mail scams, right? Because just because we're so used to being targeted here in the digital age through text messages and phone calls and emails, these scams are still out there in traditional mail, still arriving in people's mailboxes. And we have a few recent scams that we want to share with you and make you aware of too as far as traditional mail scams go. And each of these, most of these scams, these snail mail scams we're going to talk about too, there's email versions. There's email versions because you see that a lot. You see snail mail versions of email scams of snail mail versions. You know, a lot of these scams, they were around before the internet for years, these snail mail scams. They didn't go away just because the internet came around. The internet's based on them, you know. The snail mail scams are the OGs. So it's still there. Check out the other streams real quick. Make sure we're still good on Facebook. So it looks like we are. Instagram, Facebook. Cool. If you're there, give us a like, a follow, a comment. We'll be checking on them a little later. Awesome. I see Megan was on the Facebook and Instagram ones. Very cool. Want to come chat, ask a question? We're in the YouTube channels or the YouTube streams as well. We got the vertical stream going in YouTube, but we also got a widescreen stream going too. If you prefer a wide screen over here on YouTube. All right, so let's talk about these snail mail scams. Victims receive a physical postcard in the mail offering a free gift. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by scanning a QR code, malware is installed on the device or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. And that's a free gift postcard, right? So basically you receive a postcard with a QR code on it. And the postcard offers you a free gift or a free offer, right? It says to scan the QR code. But if you scan the QR code, you'll be taken to a fake website. And in the example we have here, you get a postcard for free wireless Bluetooth earbuds. Right? Same example that we saw for the fake retail websites offering the wireless Bluetooth product, just pay for shipping, right? Because it's a hot item. It's a popular item, and scammers know that. So you'll see a lot of similar products used on their scams, popular items. A lot of iPhones and things like that. But in this case, it's offering wireless Bluetooth earbuds. And this would be a postcard that you receive in the mail, and it has a QR code to scan. And the thing about QR code scams now, they're actually making the snail mail scams more popular again. It gives the snail mail scams a easy way to direct people to a fake website. So we're seeing a lot of these old snail mail scams. Now they're back. These traditional email scams or traditional mail scams, they're back, but with QR codes to scan. So be suspicious of postcards offering free items. You know, in this case, if you scan the QR code, it's going to take it to a fake website that captures your personal information, your address, account, Amazon account, and even credit card number. At least that's what this example says. So be careful scanning QR codes, whether it's a postcard, a letter, flyer, something in public. Could talk a little bit more here about QR code scams as well. I can set up a whole another 15-minute portion of this live stream just to go over QR code scams, but just for the sake of mentioning them on this one, though, it's becoming more common. There's parking meters that have QR codes on them, and what happens is the scammers put a sticker of their QR code on top of the legit one. So people are trying to pay their parking meter, and they're actually scanning a malicious QR code that takes them to a fake website. There's been reports of fake tickets. People are finding fake tickets on their windshield, right? They look legit. They look like it's a parking ticket. They scan the QR code. It takes them to a fake website. You know, they go to pay the ticket. It steals their billing information. We're seeing QR codes attached to the emails. We had an example earlier where an attachment came into an email that has a QR code in the email to scan. All right, but for the sake of keeping it snail mail or physical scam examples here, flyers hanging up in public places. They have QR codes. Be suspicious. All right. So QR codes, scanning a QR code is like clicking on a link. You don't just want to click on any random link you receive. Yeah. So, and something I like to talk about QR codes because I have a QR code on my screen, right? So let's use mine as an example here. So here's that QR code on my screen to go to the donate page, right? But you'll notice right under the QR code, I have the URL, scamaware101.com/donate, right? So you don't have to scan my QR code. You can just go directly to the website URL, right? That's what makes those, that's why I always say is the safest QR code is one you don't even have to scan, right? So you go directly to our website, scamaware101.com/donate, right? Or you could scan the QR code, right? But you don't have to. So now if you did choose to scan the QR code, you scan it, but before you click to go to it, you should see a preview. At least confirm that the preview on the screen matches where you would expect it to go, right? If it looks like a strange URL or unusual website name or something strange, don't click to go, right? And again, the best QR code is one that you don't even have to scan. You can just bypass it, put in the website address directly, you know, like the one on my screen, which you could use if you'd like to donate. So watch out for QR code scams. Be aware of them. And really, since COVID, they've become really popular now because everybody finally learned how to use QR codes. Like all the holdouts, they had to use QR codes to scan their menus. Everything was hands-free, so you weren't supposed to touch your menu. Instead, you were scanning a QR code. So everybody learned how to use QR codes, and scammers are aware of that. they'll use them now in their frauds and their scams to trick people. And again, that's why we're seeing more traditional mail scams and snail mail scams, because QR codes brings new life to them. So watch out for QR code scams, free gift card offers that come on a postcard. Fake tickets, they're out there. Watch out for QR code scams. The next scam we're going to talk about is inheritance scams. And again, even though the version we're going to share is an actual letter that was received in the mail of one of these inheritance scams, be aware that there's plenty of email versions too. You know, these snail mail versions that we're showing you, they've been adapted to email in most cases. So watch out for email versions. And just because they're coming in the mail doesn't make them more trustworthy than an email. All right, you got to always have your guard up. So in this example of an inheritance scam, or basically how an inheritance scam works, first of all, victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative, but to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details. These scams exploit curiosity and greed to steal money and identity information. So let me break that down a little bit more. The victim gets contacted by the scammer. The scammer usually impersonates a law office. They say that some long-lost relative has passed away, and because you share the same last name, you're entitled to an inheritance. They offer to facilitate the whole thing for you, but how the scam works is before you receive anything, they're going to eventually ask you to pay taxes and fees that are required for it. The victim pays the supposed taxes and fees that are due, but then the scammers disappear. There's no inheritance, and the victim no longer has the money that they paid for the taxes and fees that were fake. That's how an inheritance scam works. We see these all the time in email, but here's an actual physical letter version. This one's dated November 29th, last year, so it's less than a year old. It's got legit looking letterhead, right? It's got a law office address and phone number and a logo up top. It looks like a very professional letter from a law office. I blurred out the name of the person it was addressed to and the last name of the supposed deceased relative. Because the one thing interesting about this letter was the person it was addressed to and the last name of the relative did match. They made it match the target. All right. So in this example of the letter, they're impersonating a law office in Canada. They're claiming that their client passed away 4 years ago from COVID. She has an unclaimed life insurance policy. And because you share the same last name, you're entitled to $10 million in inheritance. They're offering to partner in partnership to facilitate it all for you. The claim is 100% risk-free. And they say that they're able to expedite it in a highly professional and confidential manner. This claim requires a high level of confidentiality, and it may take up to 30 business days. Right, so notice the mention of confidentiality multiple times. There's that red flag we talked about earlier, too, when we were talking about red flags. When they request confidentiality, secrecy is a big red flag. So again, in this case of a letter that was received, we Googled a couple sentences from the letter and Googled the law office, and right away you see plenty of people reporting the exact same letter, receiving the exact same letter, except just it's addressed to a different person and the last name is switched out to match. Other than that, every other word is identical, except the supposed deceased client and the person it's addressed to. And you'll see they're claiming you have a $10 million inheritance, right? So the way a scam works is eventually they're going to say, hey, you have to pay fees and taxes. You know, what are fees and taxes on $10 million? The scammers make a nice little chunk of change off that scam. Then they disappear, you get nothing. So beware of these inheritance scams. You know, whether you receive a letter like this in the mail or an email claiming you have some kind of inheritance. Especially if they claim to be a Nigerian prince. Watch out for those types of inheritance scams. Have you heard from any Nigerian princes lately? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you heard from any Nigerian princes. Hit that heart button. Hit that heart button. Give a reaction for Nigerian Princess there. Now we're getting to our last snail mail scam example for tonight here. Still a little bit more good stuff coming up, though. We got the scam tracker map coming up. So it's one of my favorite parts of the live streams. Definitely stay tuned for the final 15 minutes or so that we do the scam tracker map. It's coming up. All right, so this last scam we're going to go over, or have examples for at least. It's a secret survey check scam. And how this scam works is you receive a letter in the mail, like the one you see on my screen, and it usually impersonates, or in this case, it impersonates Walgreens and CVS. And it says you've been selected as a secret shopper and you've been assigned a secret survey assignment. So that's why this type of scam is typically called a secret survey scam. It's basically a mystery shopper scam. And included with this letter is a check for $2,480, right? So you receive the letter and it actually has a check enclosed as well. And it claims you've been selected as a secret shopper and your assignment is to go and purchase 4 gift cards, right? And then you're entitled to a $480 commission or $450 commission, whatever the case. So the victim receives this letter and they think, great, I have this check in hand. Wow, I'm already paid, right? And the instructions of the letter instruct the victim to go and deposit this check. And then within 12 to 24 hours, purchase the gift cards. So the victim deposits this $2,480 check. Then they go to the store and they purchase 4 gift cards and they provide them to the scammer. Scammer's happy. Victim doesn't realize they've been scammed yet. They think they did their secret survey assignment and now they have $400 in their bank account, right? But then what happens is a day or two later, the bank declines the check, bounces it, and the funds disappear. So now the victim is stuck having paid $2,000 for these gift cards. The gift cards have already been provided to the scammer. The victim can't get them back. He's out $2,000. There was no commission, right? And on top of it, the bank is going to hit the victim with a fee for depositing a bad check. And that's how these secret survey scams work. These mystery shopper check scams. And again, the letter, it comes with a check enclosed. People don't realize that it could take a couple days for a check to clear. So that's what the scam relies on. It expects the victim to deposit, but then to make the purchase within 12 to 24 hours before the check gets bounced. So let's take a look at this letter a little bit more because this scam is kind of fascinating, right? They impersonate Walgreens and CVS. You get the letter. It has a check enclosed. Then it instructs you, this one instructs you to purchase Apple gift cards or Razer Gold gift cards, Nike gift cards, or Steam Wallet gift cards. All right, so you can purchase a few different types of gift cards according to this scammer. And it offers you a $200 bonus if you complete it within 12 to 24 hours. So they're trying to incentivize the victim into completing it fast. They want the victim to purchase these cards before they realize the check was bad, before it gets bounced by the bank. And there's the red flag, the gift cards. First of all, any letter that arrives with a check enclosed that you weren't expecting, it's a big red flag. So right off the bat, there's a red flag when you receive it. But also the mention of gift cards, always a red flag. Whether they're asking you to pay in gift cards, in this case, they're asking you to go purchase gift cards as a secret shopper. Anything involving gift cards should raise a red flag because scammers, they love that type of payment. We also have another example of this letter, or a letter of this scam in letter form. And the same deal, impersonates Walgreens and CVS. This one instructs the victim to go purchase 3 gift cards instead of 4. This scammer prefers Apple gift cards, though. It wants the victim to go purchase just Apple gift cards, 3 of them, $1,500 worth of Apple cards. So that's 3 $5 gift cards. And instead of instructing the victim just to go to CVS or Walgreens, this one actually lists a bunch of other stores the victim could go to for the cards. An instruction says Walgreens, Best Buy, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, Family Dollar, Meijer, Kroger, Safeway, Dollar General, Walmart, Speedway, Albertsons. Right? It says go there, purchase Apple gift cards. Go to one of those stores, purchase Apple gift cards. But it's a scam. The victim has a check in hand. They don't realize it though. They figure, oh, okay, I got the check in hand already. It's deposited. I'll go purchase these gift cards. But then again, 3 days later, boom, they're out of $1,500 because the check gets bounced, and they get a fee from the bank for depositing a bad check. So watch out for your secret survey check scams. We have a video on our YouTube channel about that scam. I go into a little bit more details about it and analyze the examples a little bit more. So check it out. It's the mystery shopper / secret survey scam on our YouTube channel. And take a minute to subscribe if you haven't yet. Lots of good stuff on our YouTube channel, including this live stream. So hit that subscribe button. We're getting towards the end of our live stream here, but we got a little bit more left. You know, if you're just joining, stay tuned for the last few minutes here. Again, my name is Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream to spread awareness of common scams. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram right now. So follow us, like us, leave a comment, say hello in the chats. I'll check them out later. I am monitoring the YouTube chat, so last chance to get over to the YouTube chat, ask some questions, share your experience. I'll interact a little with you. Well, we just finished going over 20 different types of scams. And that's what we do on this live stream. We go over 20 different types of scams. We showed you many, many examples. We showed you email examples, text message examples. We played phone call recordings for you. And we just wrapped up some snail mail, traditional postal service scams for your reference. And that's what we do here, spreading lots of information on our Scam Awareness live stream. And again, we have videos on our YouTube channel about a lot of the scams we discussed tonight. So you go check out those videos. You can share them with a loved one. Make sure to subscribe and like them if you haven't yet. And definitely join our mailing list. It's a free mailing list on scamaware101.com. And they hit join mailing list. Put in your email address and we'll send you reminders when we're going live. Some scam awareness tips. All good stuff. We won't spam you and abuse the privilege. So scamaware101.com, hit join mailing list. You could also follow us your favorite social media platforms, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We're scamaware101 on all of them. But if you can't find us, right here on our homepage, scamaware101.com, we have a link to each of them. So whichever ones you use, go click them, follow us, like us, subscribe, and we're most active on Facebook, but hey, follow us on all the other ones too. I see Dave in the chat here. How much time do you put into prepare for your live stream? You know, I got this the usual live stream format down pretty good at this point, so I don't have to prepare too much. You know, before the live stream, I usually at least 45 minutes or an hour before. I just try to get on here and get all the streams set up and ready to go and test it out and make sure there's no technical issues. You know, but as far as this presentation itself, I got the live stream down, you know, pretty good. It doesn't switch up too much on the weekly one, you know, so not to prepare for it too much. I am working on some other presentations though too, so I'm spending most of the time working on these new presentations that I want to eventually get going too. Some presentations, some webinars, so I'm spending time getting those ready, mostly. But as far as the live stream goes, it's pretty much the same stuff each week. Got it down, and not to prepare too much for it. Just make sure everything's working smoothly before I start broadcasting, I guess. Thanks for asking. I definitely could use some help though, so if there's anybody out there watching who wants to volunteer and work on some things, collaborate, I'm all ears. I'm open to it. So feel free to reach out to me. On our website, just we have a link to contact us at the bottom. So you click that, and it'll take you to our contact info. So if you want to collaborate or got any ideas, feel free to reach out and make something happen. All right, 8:40. So so for this last portion of our live stream, what we'd like to do is check out the scam tracker map over on the ARP website. We have a link to it on our tools and software page in our website, and we mentioned it a little earlier when we were talking about the online tools and software. And it's the last link on the bottom of the page, AARP scam tracking map. And sometimes my stream gets a little laggy, so we'll see how it holds up. If I start lagging, just let me know in the chat here. But this is the scam tracking map over on the AARP website. And what's cool about it is you could view the recent reports that are coming in about scams, and it shows you on the map where they're coming in. And these reports here are from, let's see, the 9th. So yesterday. Great. So sometimes it's 2 days old, but these are just from yesterday. So here's the most recent reports we have about scams that people are being targeted with and encountered by, and at least reporting them. So let's take a look at some of these reports and see if they match the scams that we discussed this evening, or some scams that are worth talking about. Because even though we covered 20 different types of scams, there's still more out there that are circulating. So let's see. The first report was told I won a car and money package, told to go to a local place to buy a gift card. Right? So, we're not even going to look into the details of that, because the red flag is gift cards. Somebody's calling you up claiming you want a prize, you want a car, but for some reason you got to go purchase a gift card. It's a red flag. Right? Any mention of a gift card, red flags all over. Auto-related scam. Text message warning informed me of violation, fees were overdue, and there'd be penalties. Oh, so there we go. That was one of the scams we talked about earlier. This was unpaid road toll scams. Those fake road toll text messages you get. They impersonate the DMV, SunPass, Easy Pass, and they claim you have an unpaid toll due. We're going to be seeing more of those, especially right now. We just wrapped up a holiday weekend, right? So people are traveling for the holidays. This type of scam picks up during those times. We're going to see a lot more towards the end of the year during the holidays too. But honestly, yeah, this scam's been around for a year, and it's been going strong. These unpaid road toll scams. So if you get any text message claiming you owe money for unpaid toll, be suspicious. Don't click any links. Don't call any numbers that are in that text message. If you're concerned, instead, use the official app, from the toll provider, or visit the official website. But don't trust links. Don't trust phone numbers and any text messages claiming you owe a road toll. And again, we did a video about that one too. So you can check out that video on our YouTube channel as well. It's an unpaid road toll scam. Travel related scam. Caller trying to sell timeshare time using accrued RCI. I don't know anything about that one. I'm not going to get into that one. Timeshare scams. I don't know anything about those, or I don't really go pointing out at specific companies or anything like that either. I'm more focused on these criminal organizations, these impersonation scams. I don't really know anything about which timeshare scams are legit or not, so we're going to skip that one. Health-related scam. 4 phone calls this week. One was for medical equipment, might need, and the other says from United Screening. Yeah, so these healthcare scams. This is definitely worth talking about. You need to watch out for these Medicare scams. Never give out your Medicare number to anybody calling you. You need to watch out for scammers impersonating Medicare, scammers impersonating your doctor's office. Never give your Medicare number away to a phone call you weren't expecting, even if they're claiming to be with Medicare or a medical company. There's a lot of scams going around where they're saying they're going to send you a new Medicare number, but they're asking for your existing one. That's a scam. There should be no reason they're requesting your Medicare number. There's even been cases where these scammers, they're impersonating your doctor's office. So, even if you get a call from someone claiming to be from your doctor's office, they're dealing with these scams. They know they're legit. Tell them, all right, let me give you a call back. Call your doctor's office directly, just to be safe. If you don't recognize the person calling you. Any request for a Medicare number, be suspicious of. Let's check out the next page of scams here. These are all recent scams shown on the ARP scam tracking map. And we wrap up our live stream just kind of going over some recent scams that are listed here. Person called and told me he's from the Pakistan consulate. That sounds, let's see what that one says. That one sounds like it could be interesting. Let's see what this report says. No details. Great. Okay. Well, watch out for scammers claiming to be from the Pakistan consulate. What's the next one being reported here? Oh, here we go. Caller called and said they needed my information so I could get my new Medicare card. There you go. That's exactly what we just talked about as far as medical and Medicare scams go. And here's somebody reporting the example we just mentioned, right? If they call you up and they're saying they need your Medicare number so they can send you a new one, don't trust it. It's a scam. Next one, government imposter scam. Woman named Lucy called claiming to be from DPSS, asking about my application for disaster. CalFresh went. All right, let me see where this one's going, but we could talk about disaster scams for a minute here. I asked her for an ID. She said it didn't work for the county. It's the public phone number. Calls. For all this, it doesn't really give too much information about recognizing the scam itself. But because it mentions disaster, let's take a minute and mention these disaster scams and these charity scams, especially with all the flooding that's occurring right now. You know, it seems like every other week there's some kind of disaster, right? Whether it's wildfires or flooding, you know, or a heat wave. There's always some kind of disaster going on, it seems. And scammers are aware of that, and they're ready to take advantage of the situation. So if you want to donate to any of these disasters, take your time to look up an actual charity, a well-known one, that to donate to. Don't trust unsolicited phone calls or even ads that are saying, hey, click here to donate. You know, verify the organization that's actually going to, and make sure you're donating to the correct page. Because these disasters pop up and we hear about it all the time. During the wildfire disasters and the flooding disasters, and they always pop up. So watch out for these fake charity scams. I'm not saying don't donate them, but verify and make sure you're going to donate to a real charity. Let's see what the next report is. Received the invoice that stated that I paid for 2 years of Geek Squad. I don't currently have a Geek Squad account. That's a common one. That's a good example of a fake order scam. Or it could be a refund scam too. You know, but the fake invoice is a way to trick you into calling these scammers. And the Geek Squad one, we're seeing that one circulate a lot. It's a fake invoice that claims you subscribe to Geek Squad. And then they try to get you to call a number, which is actually a scammer. They say it's customer support, call it to dispute it, but you'll be connected to a scammer. And at the very least, they're going to try to steal your credit card details. Or at the worst, they're going to try to get into your bank account and clear out your bank accounts too. So, or they're going to direct you to purchase gift cards and clear out your bank accounts. But whatever the case, watch out for emails with invoices claiming to be from Geek Squad. We know that this is a scam that's circulating and going around. Don't trust that phone number. That says to call. We're going to look at one more page of recent scam reports here on the AARP Scam Watch Scam Tracker map. Getting towards the end of the live stream here, so last chance to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow. Instagram, Facebook. Help us spread awareness by liking and following our content. And make sure to join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. Family imposter scam. Received a phone call. Hello, Grandma. Immediately hung up. There you go. Grandparent scam. Right? We talked about that one earlier and showed you that video of the scammer actually performing a grandparent scam. So make sure your older loved ones are aware of that one. If your older loved ones, you be aware of that. If somebody calls you up impersonating your daughter, be suspicious. Auto-related scam. Text message warning informed me that violation fees were overdue and there would be penalties. Yep, there's that unpaid road toll scam again. That one's probably one of the most active scams. From past years, it's been one of the most active scams. Everybody's getting those text messages. Every week there's a new version. They're impersonating all these different agencies. So watch out for these unpaid road toll scams. There's another report. Fraudulent sales scam. Calling for approval of $1,500 MacBook on Amazon. Excellent. We listened to a recording of that exact scam that is reported right here. This person is mentioning they received a phone call claiming that they purchased a $1,500 MacBook on Amazon. That was the example that we used and played for you during our fake order scam discussion, right? We showed you a fake order scam earlier, and we explained how you're being targeted through text message, through phone, through email, and we played you a few recordings of those phone calls. And the first one was the MacBook Pro purchase on Amazon, which is a fake order, but they try to trick you into calling and disputing the fake order. Here we go. Elder scams and fraud. Live call from Michael from Orthopedic Medical Supply. Let's see if this is a Medicare one. It might be going to wrap up on, but let's see what details he gives here. So this one, at least according to this report, it says, got a call, someone claimed to be from Medical Supply regarding free soft elastic brace. He wanted my doctor's name, but I would not give him that. After I asked twice, he said my doctor could contact him. Caller ID is not in service. And caller ID would be irrelevant anyway because scammers can manipulate caller ID. But this is a good example of I don't know if it's a Medicare scam specifically, but this is another example of a medical scam going around where the scammers offer you certain free medical supplies. In this case, it was an elastic brace, right? And they're using that to try and get information out of you, your doctor's name. This guy didn't cooperate. He didn't give the doctor's name. But if he had, maybe the Medicare number would have been the next thing that got asked. So anybody calling you up, asking you for medical information, especially opening it up, they might open up that call by saying, hey, you're entitled to free medical supplies or a free elastic brace. But then right after, you're going to start asking you all this private information. Who's your doctor? What's your address? What's your Medicare number? Anything they ask, you don't want to give it to a stranger on the phone. Right? And that's a scam. You need to watch out for unsolicited phone calls like this, offering you free medical equipment. So, that's another good one it's a good scam to wrap up this portion of the live stream on, because medical ones are important and common. Never get out your medical information over the phone. Don't get out your Medicare number. And that's it for the scam tracker map on the ARP website. And that looks like it's probably all for this week's live stream. What'd you all think? Let us know in the chat. If you just joined and you missed it all, that's okay. Give us a like anyway. Hit subscribe anyway. We'll be back next week on Tuesday. Usually we're on Thursdays, but next week we're on Tuesday. I'm going to be out of town on Thursday, so we're doing next week's live stream on Tuesday. We have the updated date and time right here on our website under events. We also have the updated event on Facebook too, so you could RSVP on Facebook. But the best thing you could do is join our free mailing list, because you'll get a reminder an hour before the live stream reminding you on Tuesday that we're going live on Tuesday. So you go to scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We have links here on our homepage to each of our social media platforms. And if you appreciate what we do here, want to help support our mission, we have super thanks enabled here over on the YouTube stream. We take super thanks, and we appreciate that. We got some today. Again, Dave, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super thanks today. We also have some products over on our YouTube store. Some Scammerware 101 coffee mugs, mouse pads, stickers. It'll help support our cause by buying some of the merch. We appreciate it. We already had a few purchases over the past couple months. Dave, I think you got one of our mugs. You did get one of our mugs too, so I appreciate that. And we had a few other people that purchased some mugs and stickers, and we appreciate you all. It goes to help support our cause and support what we do. We appreciate it. And of course, we got the QR code on our screen that you can scan and donate directly, or also just go to scamaware101.com/donate. You donate directly, and we actually get the most out of all the ways to donate. We get the most out of it that way. Less commissions taken out. So, but we'll take it. We appreciate it. I think that's it for this week. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you all. I'm excited to see you all next week, and until next time, stay safe. Have a great weekend, everybody. Takes a minute to end all these streams. All right, thanks again, everybody. Have a great one.